Ladies and gentlemen, we are going live. Believe we are live. Believe we are live as we are here on a Saturday, another day of NFL football as the NFL takes over every day of the week. NFL football today, a triple header on Saturday starts with the formerly San Diego, currently Los Angeles Chargers going all the way up to Foxborough to take on your New England Patriots. And so we'll take a look at this ball game. We'll get a look at Drake May in this ball game as we have been taking a look at some of these young quarterbacks around the league, some non-Jets live streams we've been doing this week. And taking a look at some of these young quarterbacks, whether it's Jordan Love or Spencer Rattler or Caleb Williams. And today we'll get a look at Drake May, the high draft pick for the Patriots, who a lot of people are saying is showing that he's got what it takes. Duncan Lloyd is here. Happy Saturday to you, Duncan. Let me know if you can hear me okay, Duncan. In terms of the sound, we always got to check the audio once it's going out to the people. So, Duncan, anybody else in the chat, let me know if the audio is okay on this headset. You never quite know. No matter how many times you check it before you start, it could always malfunction. Yeah, we've had many malfunctions on this channel. So let me know if you can hear me okay. The game is about to start. We got Jim Harbaugh and the Harboys over here with the light blue and the yellow. And on the other side, we got Jarrod Mayo. And he's hoping his boys can put a little mustard on it. Can hear you loud and clear. Okay, thank you very much. Appreciate that, Duncan. Lickin' chicken. Light drizzle is the weather. Might get some rain, it looks like. Wind, not much. 41 degrees in Foxborough. And the Patriots are going to kick off to the Harboys. And the Harboys, with Herbert as quarterback, will start out first on offense. There's been a lot of discussion this week about the Patriots' defense. Keon White is saying we don't have an identity on defense, which is kind of strange when you think about it, because Gerard Mayo was handpicked to be the successor of Bill Belichick. As they get a nice tackle, then the Chargers will start about the 18-yard line, flag down on the play. Why not throw a flag on the first play? Let it go. But, there's been a lot of discussion about this Patriots defense, which has never been a problem the last 20 years that old Billy Belly was over there. Defense was never the problem. And now they're saying we don't have an identity. And Keon White is coming out and saying, I don't like all this losing. We don't have an identity. And that's very strange because Gerard Mayo is a defensive minded coach, of course, and handpicked to succeed Bill Belichick. And the whole reason for that, you would think, would be the continuity, especially of the defense. And so, very strange comments coming out of New England that way. And so, there's, I guess, trying to find an identity in the last two games of the season. Now, here comes Herbert. Now, they got pushed back by the penalty. Now they're starting at their about 8-yard line. Ooh, that looked like a face mask. Maybe not. J.K. Dobbins starting today for the Chargers and the Harboys with the bolts on their helmets. Justin Herbert having another good season. Justin Herbert, of course, is usually at the top of the list in terms of quarterback performance every year, but his team seems to underperform every single season at the same time. We'll see if that changes under Mr. Harbaugh. That's the hope of the Charger fans. And now he's in the shotgun. It's second and 10. They got this is the NFL Network broadcasting this. They got absolutely no chyrons on the screen whatsoever. This is interesting. Gives you kind of a fuller look at the field. I don't know if this is by design or if they're trying something new or what's going on here. But they completed a pass, so it'll be third down. Let's see if old Herbie can get the first down here on third and medium. Looks like J.K. Dobbins in the backfield. He's of course been injured, had a lot of injuries of late, but now he's back. So they get one of their running backs to return from injury. And of course, this is a big game for the Chargers. They're fighting for their playoff lives here. So this is really interesting. NFL Network is going with no chyrons on the field at all. No information. Harbaugh throws over to Johnston, and question is, was it good enough for the first? Let's see where they mark him. Yep, looks like it's going to be a first down. So good job by Johnston and Herbert to get the first down there on a quick throw to the left. If I'm the Patriots, I might take a look at that. I don't know about that one. I'm not sure. That's kind of close. That's kind of close. I don't know. Rod Mayo, you may want to throw a flag, stop this drive, but they're not going to. I guess they did get it. So Herbert now under center, hands it, fakes a handoff, and now looks to throw, goes down the right hand side, high throw, and incomplete to Johnson. That was a poor pass by Herbie over his head. Harlan Abraham is here. Good to see you, Harlan. Happy holidays, Merry Christmas, Happy Hanukkah, and Happy New Year to everybody out there. If you're just coming in, why not click the like button on the video? It really helps out the channel, and I would appreciate that. And if you're new to the channel, feel free to subscribe. If you're already subscribed, click the bell button. That way you can be notified whenever something new comes out. All right. Now Herbert's in the shotgun, 2nd and 10. Johnson maybe could have caught that pass. Wasn't as terrible as I thought initially. And he hands off to the running back. And he's going to get about 5 or 6 yards there. So it'll be 3rd and medium now. See if they can convert. Vidal is the, I guess, backup running back for the Chargers. And you think about the Chargers, of course, Harbaugh came in and was, year one for his regime after a long period of time where things were disappointing, you could say, for the Chargers. They were a good team. They would not make it as far in the playoffs as the fans would have liked, and team people didn't understand why they couldn't go further. So they got rid of the coach. Now they bring in Harbaugh, and in year one, already got 9 wins on the season. They're 9-6, and I believe if they win this ball game, they will clinch. Oh, you got to catch that one. So he had an open receiver. I think that was McConkey, and McConkey didn't come up with it. A little bit of a high throw, but it seemed like he should have had that one and was able to work his way open here off of the right hand bunch. Yeah, he should have had that, I think, but he got turned around and probably couldn't time his leap properly, but really should have had that. Come on, McConkey, what are you doing over there? So now they're going to have to punt. And so the defense holds, although really it was more the offense didn't hold on to the ball, so to speak. And they punted away, and so now we're going to get to see Drake May. So we've watched a lot of young quarterbacks here over this past week of all different stripes and flavors. You had your Jordan Love looking excellent. You had your Caleb Williams not looking good at all. And you had your Spencer Rattler not looking good at all either. Um, and we saw common themes with those quarterbacks who didn't look good. They can't convert third downs. They throw the ball too high. They can't make full field reads. They run, it's third down, and you see them, let's say it's 3rd and 10, they drop it off for a 5 yard gain. That's no bueno. So now let's keep that in mind as we take a look at Drake May. Drake May has been getting very positive reviews. In fact, one of the most recent news items that came out today was that Gerard Mayo is safe, but they may fire Alex Van Pelt, which would be a very big mistake, in my opinion. I mean, uh, you know, they have of all the things that have happened this year in New England, Drake May's development has been one of the most positive things. And then you're gonna fire Alex Van Pelt? Come on now. Harlan says, kept an eye on the Syracuse game. McCord had a good game. Yeah, he threw for a lot of yards, that's for sure. Kyle McCord. Also, the news today was that Carson Beck of Georgia is going to come into the draft, which I think is a big mistake. This is a guy who was a little bit iffy to begin with, and now he has Tommy John surgery. He's not going to be able to throw for all the pre-draft process, and now he's going to come into the draft. I don't know why he wouldn't just go back to Georgia, but yeah, that's the advice he's getting. I'm not sure why. Maybe he thinks this quarterback grouping is so weak that this is his best chance. But so Carson Beck will be in the draft. Kyle McCord, I don't know if McCord's decided what to do in terms of coming into the draft or not yet, but he's a big 6'5" quarterback out of Syracuse, and some people like him, some people don't. Who knows what's going on with these quarterbacks? But we'll find out. I don't know when's the deadline for people to have to declare whether they're coming into the draft or not, but it'd be nice to know who we got in, who we got out. Then you could really start doing your mock drafts because no point in doing a mock draft when someone you might want, decides to go back to school and take his NIL money and do it that way. All right. So Drake May for the 3-12 New England Patriots. Well, like I said, he has not been the problem from all the reporting that we've gotten out of New England. They're in 11 personnel here. Hunter Henry's their main target. It was reported that Ramondre Stevenson would not start, but I think, in fact, he is starting today. Ramondre Stevenson, their great running back, has been doing something not so great lately, which is fumbling. So Drake May on the season, 67.6% completion percentage. Right off the bat, that's pretty excellent. Problem, 14 touchdowns, 10 interceptions. So a little too many interceptions, but he's at least completing passes at a high rate, and that's step one for a young QB. 11 personnel again. Again, their main target here, as far as pass catchers is concerned, is number 85, Hunter Henry. The Patriots also have a new starting center, which is Cole Strange. He was the first round pick from a few years ago. And today they're starting him at center. Used to be a guard. So I don't know if that's a career change or just something they need to do with all the shuffling they have to do on their offensive line now. The offensive line has been a big problem for the Patriots, as well as not enough really good wide receivers. Pop Douglas, a youngster, has been pretty good. They also have Kendrick Bourne. They also have Jalen Polk. He's been too many dropsies for him. And Javon Baker out of out of UCF, has not been utilized much by this team. All right, Dre now. Drake May goes back to pass. Can't find anyone. Has to scramble. Oof. Takes a big hit. So this is now he's on the ground holding his head. This is not, this is again, no bueno. Now it's nice that a guy can, and he's still on the ground. He might be concussed. No, now he's up. Okay. He's stumbling. They're going to take him out of this game. You probably, at least for evaluation, the way he was stumbling, I think he's got to come out probably. But this is, and I think he stepped out. Yeah, he stepped out and took a hit. I mean, that's a double whammy. And he dropped the ball, and he's going to be concussed. I mean, it's- but this is what you don't want for your quarterbacks. On third down, you want them throwing the ball on their first or second read. Instead, he went through, couldn't find anybody, and then had to scramble. Now, Drake May, of course, can run, and that's an asset to have in terms of running ability and escapability and so forth and so on. But the problem, of course, with that is all the pounding that you take. And you saw right there, he looked a little awkward as he was trying to go out of bounds. Should I go out of bounds? Should I not go out of bounds? Looked like he was a little undecided. And then he took a pop, and then he lost the football, and then he was slow getting up. And, this is the sort of thing that happens when you can't quickly find your target for a third down conversion. So, not a great first drive for Drake May and the Patriots, but we'll see how this develops going forward. JoJo is here. JoJo was a man from Tucson, Arizona. Remember that one, JoJo? Get back, JoJo. Remember that? That's a Beatles song. I don't know if you're old enough, JoJo, to remember the Beatles. JoJo was a man from Tucson, Arizona. Get back, JoJo. McCord would be interesting development. Yeah, he's going. So May is in fact going into the tent for evaluation. You'd think he'd have to after the way he got up there. It looked a little shaky, so he's going to be evaluated in the tent. We'll have to see. McCord, yeah, honestly, other than I know who he is, I know his basics. Tall, you know, played well yesterday. I don't know everything about him. I don't know if he's going to come into the game. I don't know what kind of round you might take him in. I don't know yet. I kind of want to wait to see all these kids, whether they're going back, coming in, before I do real work on any of them or start reading about them. I don't want to do a bunch of work on a guy who's not even coming into the draft. You know what I'm saying? Know what I'm saying, JoJo. So yeah, we'll see. So May getting evaluated for a concussion, no bueno. Um, Herbert now will come back on the field. Now, of course, this is one of those games where the Chargers have all of the incentive to win, and if they win, I think they clinch a playoff spot, which will be heck of a story. You know, Harbaugh comes in first year. Team, of course, has a lot of nice pieces already in place. They were not a destitute franchise by any means when he came in, including having a top-notch quarterback. That always helps. But year one, he sets everything up. He brings in Greg Roman. He brings in this one and that one and all of that. And now they're going to probably get into the playoffs right off the bat. So Harbaugh lives up to his reputation as a guy who can turn things around and turn things around fast. Took him a little while at Michigan, but eventually got that thing turned around. And so that just continues on. And it looks like the Chargers have made a great, great hire in terms of Mr. Harbaugh. Now, so we'll have to see how it plays out. Things have looked good for the Chargers before, and then they had epic failures in the playoffs, of course. So we'll have to see if how that plays out this year. Um, so keeping an eye on that. But interesting reporting out of New England about the defense. I think you know you have players like Keon White saying we don't know our identity. We're not sure about our identity. This and that. That's no bueno for a team that's supposed to be the strength of the team. And there's a lot of players who are holdovers from the Belichick era. So you wonder why there's so much difference between them now and then. Herbert back to pass, dumps it off over the middle to a tight end, makes the catch. About a 7 or 8 yard gain. Nice gainer on first down. That was a very strange play by May where he stepped out and then went back into the field of play. Not good. Not a good idea. Not a good idea. If you're going to go out of bounds, go out of bounds. Don't make it, halfway, half measures. All right, 2nd and 2 now for the yellow panted team. And they handed it off to Dobbins, and he's able to get 4 or 5 yards. So that's a first down for the Chargers. Latest speculation around the New York Jets is that it seems like there's multiple reports saying that Aaron Rodgers is unlikely to return. There's a new report out at Athlon Sports about the Jets could be one of the teams to pursue Kirk Cousins if they get rid of Rodgers. So that would be an interesting development. I'm not sure if I like that idea, but there was a report, I think it was today, about that, and that there's been multiple reports as Herbert throws an incomplete pass here on first down. There is a flag on the play, probably some sort of defensive holding or something. That the Jets, there's been reporting from both Dick Chimney and Country Club, yeah, defensive holding, Country Club Connor and Dick Chimney, both reporting that the Jets are unlikely to retain Aaron Rodgers. So when those two people are doing similar reporting, it seems like it's probably true, and seems like it's probably that's definitely holding. Seems like it's probably coming from the Jets itself. Having the Jets release that information into the public through Dick Chimney and Country Club Connor, and now we have this article today about, well, if they do get rid of Rodgers, which seems likely, then they could be one of the teams to pursue Kirk Cousins, assuming that Kirk Cousins gets released from his contract with the Falcons, which some of the insiders are saying is the likely scenario based on how the contract is written and the money and all that and the way he performed this year, which was too many times throwing it to the other team. Not sure why that was occurring, but the article went on to explain that the reason he was having so much trouble was not so much the injury, but the fact that he was adjusting to a new team with a new scheme and new teammates and all, and that's how they justified, all the interceptions that he was throwing. Um, Not sure how much I believe that, but I don't think he looked like he was hurt. I do agree that it seem like uh, does not seem like um, it was the injury that was holding him back. Seemed like something else, but not sure what exactly. Okay, so the Chargers have the ball now on their 35-yard line. A little quick pass out to McConkey. He's got this one, and that looks like another first down. Makes up for that drop earlier. That was a good draft. That was a good pick for the Chargers. McConkey, get a little possession receiver, get him in there. They'll probably uh, they'll probably be looking for another wide receiver in this draft. I would anticipate. Bird under center now does a little play action, looking, goes off into the flat to the running back, and he's able to get another first down. So they're able to move the ball on this drive. First drive, they didn't execute very well, but on this drive, they're moving the ball down the field now, and they're around the 50-yard line or so at this point in time. Starting to move into Patriot territory as the clock ticks down in the first quarter. Tick, 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 and so forth and so on. Drake May now being they're showing going into the locker room, so maybe perhaps might be out of this ball game. He did not have his helmet and he was off into the locker room. So Drake May, it's possible he's being knocked out of this ball game. Maybe perhaps with a concussion. We'll have to see, wait and see what they say. Hopefully he's okay, of course. Never want to see a guy get injured, that's for sure. Not on this channel. I'll tell you that much. Not on this channel. All right. Herbert now back to pass, 2nd and 8. Looking. Can't find anybody now. Throws it into the ground. No good. 3rd and long now. So let's see what Demarcus Covington dials up in terms of pressure. Is he going to bring the blitz? Demarcus Covington also under fire, of course, with the Patriots, as are all the coaches. Mayo, it seems like not so much. Um, So let's see what Covington dials up here. Maybe a little blitz action. Speed up Mr. Herbie. See what we can do. Well, they're at least showing blitz. Let's see if they come or back out. Herbert in the shotgun. They pretty much back out, and he drops it off. That was not a great pass. He threw a little 4-yard pass on 3rd and 8. That's not what you want. And I don't think they're in field goal range yet. So that maybe okay, yeah. So maybe they thought they got 4th down because this is four down territory. So he didn't mind just taking some yardage there, knowing he had 4th down to go. So now it's 4th and 3. So you'd say 4th and manageable. So that's why he checked it down on that one. Makes sense now. All right, and again, let's see what Covington dials up here. Is he going to bring any pressure? Of course, what you see from the Patriots is what you see from a lot of teams, the 3-4 that can convert to a 3-4. And right now they have 4 down linemen. Now they bring an extra linebacker and a defensive back. But the Chargers pick it up and they throw it downfield to Johnston and able to get a long completion. So he did try to dial up pressure, but the Chargers picked it up very well. Aldago came on the blitz. It could not get home. Matic is here. Good to see you, Matic. Happy holidays. Merry Christmas. Happy New Year. Happy everything. Hope all is good with you and yours. Matic is here, everybody. All right, now they're in field goal range, but it's 1st and 10 for the Bolts. And Herbert back to pass, looking way downfield toward the end zone. And what a catch by number 12. Davis, whoever the heck that is. I don't know who that is, but that's a touchdown. Hell of a catch by that guy. Darius Davis. Never heard of him. Who the hell's Darius Davis? But I made a hell of a catch. Look at that. Even on replay, yep, holds up. Hell of a catch by Darius Davis, whoever that is. Nice job, young man. So that's a touchdown for the Bolts. They get on the board first. Um, and let's see if they're able to convert an extra point. Yes, sir. So 7-0. The Bolts jump out on top. Drake May, we'll have to see if he's able to come back in this ball game. He went into the blue tent, then he went into the locker room. And so might be Jacoby Brissett time for the New England Patriots as we move along here, which will be a lot less exciting to watch. I think we wanted to have a little fun watching Drake May. We wanted to continue watching these young quarterbacks across the league. Some very successful, like Jordan Love. Others not so successful, like Caleb Williams and Spencer Rattler. And then Drake May, we just got to see one drive. Didn't go well, but that's just one drive. So hopefully he'll be okay and come back in the game. But it might just be Jacoby Brissett time, which is less exciting. We all know what Jacoby Brissett can do at this point in time in his career. He's a good little backup guy who's very useful to have on your team, especially if you're competing for a playoff spot. He's a backup that you want on your team. He can start for you if you need him to. But we kind of know what Jacoby Brissett's all about. Whereas with Drake May, we don't. We want to see what he can do. So that's unfortunate. Yep. Happy holidays to you and yours, Omatic. It's been a week of football, Omatic. I tell you that much. It's like every day of the week there's football, NFL, college, you name it. There's just football all over the place. And I think that the NFL is really starting to embrace this idea that around Christmas time they're going to dominate the ratings. They really killed the NBA. It used to be that the NBA would be the only game in town on Christmas Day. That was like their big day. And you saw LeBron James make a statement about that. Well, I think the NFL is going to say, sorry, Mr. James, we're going to dominate Christmas from now on. Sorry, it's too tempting for the NFL to just dominate around this time. Next year, Christmas falls on a Thursday, so that's a natural right there. And I would expect 3 games next year, probably on Christmas instead of 2. I mean, it's a perfect idea. Thanksgiving, is already a tradition, and everybody loves that. So why not Christmas? I mean, these are even better. These are games that are, should have playoff implications, right? So why not? And I think that's going to continue. They did get good ratings. I don't think as good as some people were reporting, but even for Netflix, I don't know if it's going to continue to be on Netflix or whatever, but some sort of streaming apparatus will have some Christmas games. I think that's going to continue. All right. NBA product is failing. NFL is moving in now. Yeah, they got terrible ratings compared to the NFL. So, and the NBA is really what I'm reading is kind of struggling right now. I'm not a big fan of the NBA, so it doesn't surprise me, but I'll have to see. So Drake May injury update, head questionable. So that's concussion. They always say head. I don't know why they always say head. They never say concussion a lot of times. All right, so Jacoby Brissett is in fact in the game now. So we'll have to see how this plays out. For the season, 59% completion, 2 touchdowns, 1 interception, 74.6 rating, QB rating, or passer rating, that is, I guess. And he starts with a handoff to Antonio Gibson for 2 or 3 yards. So we'll have to see how this New England offense responds to the loss of Drake May, and we'll see if he can come back into the game at some point. Harlan says December 25th used to be the blue-gray game. They don't play it anymore. Well, if you say so, Harlan, I take your word for it. You know the history better than me. That's before my time. All right, Brissett under center, and Cole Strange is the new center for the Patriots in this game. So we'll see how he holds up at that position. Looked pretty good on that play. Oh, now he's getting into a fight a little bit with Tart. Well, third and medium now, I think. Though it says second. Yeah, there we go. Third and 8. So we'll have to see if Jacoby Brissett can convert. Third down and 8. See how he does. Back to pass. Here comes a pass rush. He avoids it, throws out to the flat. No bueno. Trying to hit Pop Douglas. Off target. No good. Fourth down. Puntadero. So Jake Brisket, no good on that one. Whole line held up pretty well. It just made a bad throw. Khalil Mack was screaming off the edge, but they pushed him out far enough. And just a poor throw by Brisket. So not able to connect. This game may, in fact, turn into a snoozer, and we won't even get to see Drake May. That'll be quite disappointing. Again, this is the first of 3 games on the day, so we'll see how this turns out. Justin Herbert now coming back. But what do you guys think about the report that if we let go of Rodgers, we could pursue Kirky Cousins? Kirk Cousins exciting anybody in Jetland out there? Oh, I see what happened. I got this message that the background was causing too much problem. I didn't even notice that this background. Now you're seeing the little studio for my audiobooks back there. That's a mini studio back there for audiobook recording. I wonder why that was causing problems. That's weird. Let's see if we can put this back. I like this little virtual background, like the detective office here. Let's see if this causes a problem. Oh, wait a minute. No, yeah, it should be able to do it. Wait, why not? Hmm, something happened with it. Let's try this one. That's not working either. Right, so virtual backgrounds are not working for some reason. So you'll just have to make do looking at my little virtual studio back there. Sometimes you got to make a virtual studio. Omatic says, Frankie, which quarterback do you like in this upcoming draft? One of my least favorite questions. And if you were the Jets, who and where would you pick? Well, there's too many variables there, Omatic. First of all, we don't know where we're picking. We don't know where we're picking. We don't know who's coming into the draft. Second of all, by all accounts, there seems to be 2 first-round quarterbacks that everybody agrees on, Cam and Shador, and we're not going to be able to get access to them. So then it's like, well, depends who's available in what round. You know, if there's some guy in the 6th round who you take a shot on, sure, why not? But it all depends on. We also don't know if Rodgers is coming back or not. We don't know. There's been 3 reports now that Rodgers is going to be out, that the Jets don't want him back. It's 3 reports. One by Chimney, one by Country Club Connor. Oh, here comes May, so maybe he'll be back in the ball game. Saying that Rodgers is out. So it seems like Rodgers is going to be out, though we don't know. That could be wrong. We don't know. These reporters, they get things wrong all the time. So, but we got to figure that out. If Rodgers is out, then probably Adams is out and Lazard is out, and then we have basically Garrett Wilson and a bunch of nothing at wide receiver. So there's just too many variables. We got to get all this figured out. We got to know who's in the draft, what they're how they're going to grade out. and what our situation is. If Rodgers comes back, then we're not taking any quarterbacks at all because we got our three, and that's going to be it for next year. And we'll see how that would play out. If he doesn't come back, then it's more of a rebuild. And do you go get a Kirk Cousins? Do you go get a Justin Fields? Do you go get, who knows? But the GM and the head coach would have to have a plan for that. Seems like Quentin Johnston for the Chargers is finally playing well. This is a high draft pick out of TCU. He had a lot of problems to start his career out, but in this game, at least, it seems like they're utilizing him pretty well. So Cousins would be a guy that you'd want to look at to see if you could get the Viking version of Kirk Cousins. Obviously, you don't want the Falcon version, but with the Vikings, he was damn good. So, question is, can you get that version out of him, or is he cooked, or what? And yeah, that's that's what they're gonna have to try to evaluate by looking at the tape and seeing what he's got. But it seems like he will be released, so he'll be an option for teams looking for a quarterback. So we'll have to see how that plays out. First quarter is winding down here. I wonder if they're going to even run this play. No, they're not. Bro, first quarter ends. Chargers up 7-0 over the Patriots. Does look like Drake May is back out of the locker room and on the bench, so he probably is coming back in the game. So that's good news for his health, and also just so we can see him, watch him play, and see if he's going to be any good or not. Looks like he is going to be good. So there's just Omatic. There's just too many variables right now to really know. If Rogers is gone, then it makes sense to take a flyer on somebody in the mid rounds. If Rogers is here, then we're not taking any quarterbacks, and we're just trying to fill. Remember, we have a lot of roster holes to fill as well. Harlan says Jets should not get Kirk Cousins. He played the Jets once to get a big contract with the Vikings. Well, that's not a reason not to get him. That's called negotiations. I can't blame him. You would do the same thing. So that should have no bearing on whether we get him or not. What it should be is if you think he can help your team win or not. And that's the decision to be made. I don't care that he used us for contract negotiations. That's just called smart negotiating. And he was able to get a great contract, and he's been one of the great negotiators in contract NFL contract history. If you think about it, all the guaranteed money he's gotten, and so forth, and so on. The other thing about Cousins this time around, it's going to be a Russell Wilson type deal. So the Falcons are going to still be paying him. So the new team is probably going to pay a very small amount to get him. And that could be a factor for a lot of these teams with cap problems, including us. We also have some cap problems, especially if we let Rodgers go. We're still going to have cap problems next year. Not real problems, but cap. We're not going to have a ton of cap space, put it that way. We don't really have problems, but we're going to have to eat a ton of dead cap for Rodgers. So I'm not saying I like Kirk Cousins. I'm saying I want to know why he didn't perform the way he did with the Vikings on the Falcons. Well, he's not injury prone, Harlan. He's not injured now. How's he injury prone? What he was interception prone. So the question is, why did he suddenly turn into an interception machine this year? And for that, you got to look at the tape and try to figure it out. And if you think he's washed and he's just done, then then he's not an option because he's just not good enough. That's the reason not to have him on your team because he's not good enough. You don't think he's good anymore, and he's not going to help your team win. Therefore, you don't you don't get him. But it looks like he anyway, right as of right now, he will be an option for teams looking for a quarterback, including the Jets. So we'll see how that works out. All right, start of the second half, we got a full house backfield for the Chargers as they tried to run the ball down your throat, but that did not work. So it'll be 2nd and 12 as he lost about a yard and a half or 2 yards or so. Nice play by the Patriots, stringing out that play right there. And first two possessions for New England, 6 total yards. That is not good. That's what you call a no bueno for the offense. 6 yards in the first half. Oh, it must have been second down there because it was 3rd and 1 now, and I think they're still a little short. Or did they give it to him? Herbert went for the quarterback sneak, and I'm not sure if we get it or not. I guess he is. First and 10. All right. So Chargers continue moving the ball down the field. They're up 7-0. They're at about midfield. Herbert in the shotgun, 11 personnel. Got McConkey, Johnston, and Davis on the field as far as wide receivers are concerned. They do a play action fake handoff throw to McConkey, who makes a leaping catch. Nice job by Mr. McConkey on that one. So he's been able to make a few grabs now after dropping one early in the game. Back to his old good hand self. Lad McConkey. You got to love him. Patriots not able to get any pass rush there. So that was great pass protection by the Charger offensive line. Great job. They were putting people on the ground. You got to love it. Christian Gonzalez now coming off the field. This is bad news for the Patriots. He is one of their promising young stars on defense. Hopefully, nothing too serious for Mr. Gonzalez. He's walking off. Maybe he went lead with his head. Don't do that, Mr. Christian. And it looks like maybe a concussion issue again uh, for this defender. He looks okay, but you never know with these concussions. So hopefully he'll be back on the field shortly. Now Herbert's back under center at the plus 34-yard line or so. And a handoff for about 5 yards on first down. That's a good pickup there. Jets have to select a quarterback in every draft until they find their quarterback. Well, that'd be too many quarterbacks on your roster. You can have 5 quarterbacks on your roster after if the first four don't work out. So we'll see what happens this year. There's not a lot of good options this year for the Jets. So I don't know, but it seems like ownership is determined not to have Rodgers back. Seems to me bringing Rodgers and Adams back under different contractual situations, where they adjust their contracts. There's a nice catch by a tight end, I think. Would be the best bet. There's just not enough quality free agents and candidates, prospects coming out of the draft. Kyle Duggar had good coverage on that one, but a nice pass and good catch by 84 there. Herbert able to hook up with his tight end. Now there's some sort of trickery on the running play. Didn't really work out too great. Dobbins going to get 3 or 4 yards here. So should be second and about 6 or 7. They're chewing up the clock. Second quarter is about a third of the way through. I want to see the Jets have come in with a coaching plan. Like I think we could. I think the Jets should really try to be innovative in terms of development. Like I really want to see a development. Why don't we just have like a development coach who works on those roster fringe guys, maybe the quarterbacks, and that's all they do is their development. Because the regular coaches can't really develop you that much during the season. They got a game plan and all that. I really think the Jets have an opportunity to be innovative in what they do if they want to be. Now, whether they want to be or not, that's really the question. Comes back to Woody Woodpecker. Woody Woodpecker, our owner, doofus owner. I mean, can he really think outside the box and think, how can I get an edge in this league over here, over these other teams that we got to try and beat? Maybe Jordan Travis will develop. Who knows? You never know. We could dream on Jordan Travis. All right. 3rd and 8 now. Herbert in the shotgun, back to pass. Pass rush does not get home. He drops it off to Palmer. So that was an underneath throw, sort of a safe throw there. Was not really going to get the first down. Now it's 4th down. Do they kick the field goal? If I were them, I would kick the field goal. Play it conservative. Just keep burying the Patriots. Don't give them an opportunity for a big play like a fourth down stop in the red zone. Just keep piling on the points. That's what I would do. Yep, and that's what they're going to do. They have Cameron Dicker, Dicker the kicker. Dicker, I barely know her. A man once said. Up and good. Cameron Dicker the kicker kicks the ball and it goes right through the uprights. Attaboy. Dicker the kicker. Dicker, barely know her. Some might say. Well, and we go to commercial. So we'll see if Drake May is able to come back from his head injury there. Looks like he probably will, so that's good news. Same thing for Christian Gonzalez, their talented young cornerback. But it's going to be an interesting off season. That is for sure. What we got to hope is that everybody doesn't fire their head coach. Everybody stick with their coach, especially like the Raiders. Looks like reporting is that Pierce is going to get fired with the Raiders, but there was previous reporting that um, Mark Davis is not very cash rich out of all the owners. He was like the least cash rich owner out there, and he's currently paying Josh McDaniels still, and then he's going to keep paying Antonio Pierce, and then he's going to pay a third head coach. I don't know about that one. Now maybe he's not as cash poor as people have said. That's certainly possible. That's certainly possible. But if he is as cash poor as people have said, it's hard for me to believe he's going to be paying three head coaches at once. And I think he's got a couple of years to go on the McDaniels contract, if I'm not mistaken, which I could be, but someone could check me on the Josh McDaniels contract. Now, McDaniels is interesting. You would think that he would go down with Billy Belly over at UNC and be the UNC OC, but they have Freddie Kitchens there already that Belichick decided to keep on staff for the UNC Tar Heels. So you wonder where exactly Josh McDaniels is going to land. Probably not as a head coach. He's been very bad as a head coach, but he's been very good as an offensive coordinator. And so you wonder where he's going to land that way. Would he go on to Vrabel's staff, wherever Vrabel lands, or where else could he land? Yeah, the front office, Harlan. But I want to see a total redo of the front office. I want to see the pro personnel redone. I want to see the top college, not the college scouts that are on the road. They're fine. They're just filing reports. But like the people evaluating those reports, I want to see them replaced. I want to see the money men replaced. I want to see the capologists replaced. Get these people out of here. But I don't think Woody's going to get rid of all of them. Now, maybe the new general manager might have something to say about that, but like if they hired a guy like Jim Nagy, let's say, now there's a great evaluator of talent, so he'd be good on the scouting side of it. But how much does he know about the cap? You know, really. And so he would have to hire a capologist to help him. And then how would that look? It's Matt Patricia. Matt Patricia, you would think is going with Belichick, but I haven't heard news that he is. Some of these guys, probably guys like that, are going to wait to see how some of these, and May is back in the game and running around. Again, you want him staying in the pocket. They're calling a flag. They're throwing flags now for guys touching him. Mm, that's pretty ridiculous. Let's see. He's down. Yeah, he's down. Once he goes down, you can't really touch him once he slides down. So he slid down. You got to not touch him. That's the rules. Unnecessary roughness, even though it's pretty silly. But them's the rules they got so far. So anyway, you don't want May running around so much. You want him finding his targets and throwing the ball, but not even really much of a hit there. But you can't touch him. That's the rules. So, uh, Jalen Milrow has to decide to come into the draft. First of all, he'd be a good choice probably at some point, depending. But we also need to know who our coaches are. How good are they at developing young players, and what's the what's the situation? There's got to be a plan that gets communicated and executed. You know, what's the plan? We're getting Milrow. Okay. Well, first of all, you can't just say we'll get Milrow because somebody else might take him, right? So you can't just fixate on one guy. But if we take young player X in round, in this bucket of rounds, what's the plan for that young player? What's the plan for development? How much development do they need? And what is the plan for that? Like for example, all the things that Patriots have not done well this year, I think they've handled Drake May pretty well. And what they did in the beginning is they were giving him, they were splitting the reps between Brissett and May with the ones, in training camp and all that. So it seemed like they had a pretty good plan, at least for Drake May. And so again, you got to give credit to Alex Van Pelt for that. And he's the one who seems to be the most under fire, which I don't understand at all. I mean, I know they haven't scored a ton of points, but they also don't have an offensive line. They don't have wide receivers. They only have one good tight end. Can't even tell you who their second tight end is. That's not a good pass. And the flag comes in for some reason. Probably holding on the defense, defensive holding. Jim Harbaugh can't believe it. So Patricia and McDaniels and all these guys who are the Belichick pass interference defense, uh, who are the Belichick lieutenants, they're probably waiting to see how these other staffs shake out in terms of hiring and so forth to see if they can, get on to. I don't agree with that call at all. Okay, he did. He did kind of hit that arm, the back arm there. Um, Maybe that was a good call. But they're probably waiting to see how the NFL staff shake out and whether they can get on with somebody there. And then if not, maybe they'll join Belichick. I mean, there's only so many coaches Belichick can hire. So we'll have to see about that. But yeah, Matt Patricia, Josh McDaniels, Joe Judge, all the frickin', all the cronies going to probably wind up down there one way or another. Oh, this is terrible. So there's a fumble by the. Jeez, that looked terrible. Fumble by the Patriots, picked up by Derwin James, one of the best safeties in all of NFL football. Wish we had that dude on our squad. Derwin James, there's a guy. Now here's a guy. Let's see what happened here. May goes back to hand it off, and uh, I don't, I don't know what happened there. He thought a guy was going to be there who wasn't there, I guess, or I don't know. They were trying to do some sort of weird running play to Pop Douglas. Didn't work. Ball hit the ground, picked up by the Chargers, and off they go. So 10-0 Chargers. They have the ball in Patriot territory. So things not looking too hot in terms of the Patriots putting up a fight against the Chargers in this ball game. Harlan says Milrow probably go early. Jets will have to get D tackle at the end later. Could get a quarterback later. Yeah, we'll have to see. Milrow Milrow's the type of guy if he declares that he's going to go in probably the first round because of just scarce position scarcity. Some team in the middle of the round is going to go. You know what? Let's not mess around. We might have to develop him, but and he's probably not worth the pick. But position scarcity is what it is. So you're not going to be able to get Milrow in the third round or something like that. You're going to be able to get someone who's not exciting. The fan. You're going to be able to get somebody who doesn't excite the fan base, but has an outside shot to being okay. That's basically how it works. See if I can fix this background at all. This thing isn't working. This thing isn't working. This thing isn't working. That's strange. This thing isn't working. Everybody's strange, man. Good old restream. Safety or two. Yeah, that's another point, Harlan. We, have lots of holes on defense. We're going to need to sign some guys as holdovers. Like, you could probably sign Chuck Clark and Ashton Davis for a million or 2 million. There's your backups. But then you got to, I mean, at some point, you do have to address it in the draft. I wanted Kirby Joseph so badly. We didn't get him. See what happened on this play. Seemed like May released it before really seeing the guy be there. It's a very strange play. Anyway, so Herbert now takes over. J.K. Dobbins gets to the outside, about a 3 or 4 yard gain there on first down. So let's see if the Chargers are able to continue moving down the field on this Patriots defense and continue to uh, gouge them there. They're showing a graphic. Patriots 29 fumbles this season, most in the NFL. So I guess that reflects poorly on their coaching. Could get a decent to good quarterback in rounds 4 through 6. Yeah, you might. But at that point, you're just taking a flyer, which is fine also. But all right, Herbert now under center and a little play action, and it's a screen to the tight end, able to get out and get a first down. Will Disley with the first down. Tight end screen there, nicely done. And as they move down toward field goal range for sure, if they get a touchdown here, you might be able to snatch the will of the Patriots, so to speak. Although with the young QB, maybe not so much. First and 10, ball control. So the Chargers have had the ball 17 minutes, the Patriots 5. No bueno. So they do a quick smoke pass out to Davis, and that did not work. Shut down by the Patriot defense. No bueno on that one. But the clock continues to roll. About 7 minutes left in the second quarter here. Chargers lead the Patriots 10-0 as they make their playoff push. And as New England is looking toward the off season and the draft, I would anticipate that the Patriots really have so many needs that they're just going to go best player available in the first round, I would think. Hubbard now in the shotgun with a spread out formation, throws to McConkey, seems to be his possession receiver. Always nice to have a good possession receiver available. So we were hoping Xavier Gibson would be, but he has not turned into that at all. It's turned into absolutely nothing. So third down and 3. McConkey has 4 catches for 40 yards so far. Good little possession receiver to have on your squad. Again, another spread out formation. He brings the running back into the backfield as the clock ticks down. And they do a running play off to the right side, and he's able to get the first down very easily, about 8 or 9 yards on that run. So the Charger offense is really taking control of this game. Excellent blocking as they took a guard, moved him out on the perimeter, took care of the edge, and the running back able to scamper down the field. Nice job by the Chargers O line. Good design, good blocking. Nice job all around. Collier was the puller on that one. All right, first and 10 now. Herbert in the shotgun. They're at about the 20-yard line of the Patriots. Looks left, looks center, looks back right, throws it, dumps it down to J.K. Dobbins, the running back, who's able to get 7 or 8 yards. Nice little gainer there. Again, as the Chargers continue to dominate this ball game, they're dominating the time of possession and dominating on the scoreboard is 10-0 as the clock winds down um, toward half time. Okay, now they're doing a direct snap wildcat type of thing. Mhm. And then we'll get a yard or two. Maybe just hand it to the guy. Not sure why we need to do wildcat, but it seemed like he jump cut a little too late to hit the hole. The hole was there, but he didn't quite hit it soon enough. Not great vision there by the running back. But not a more traditional quarterback under center. Put a man in motion left to right now. He orbits back the other way. Hand it off to the running back. That's the way to do it. First down there. So it'll be first and goal. Clock continues to tick, tick, tick as we go down close to 3 minutes remaining in the first half. Chargers dominating time of possession, not giving the Patriots a chance really to move the ball very much as they are dominating the clock, dominating the yardage, dominating the scoreboard. Now we're in a 2-by-2 formation under center, and he brings his guys back in toward the formation. Herbert back to pass, throws, and he's got a man. It's McConkey for a touchdown. So 2:55 remaining in the first half, and it'll be 16 to nothing, pending a extra point. Lad McConkey once again coming up big. That guy is a nice money receiver right there. Lad McConkey, nice draft pick by the Chargers. Able to find a spot in the zone, and Herbert found him very easily. Nicely done by all. And now the extra point try by Dicker the kicker. And right down the middle. 17 nothing Chargers. 2:55 remaining in the first half. So we've seen Drake May go out with a concussion and then come back in. Then we saw him uh, throw a pitch to nobody. Ball landed on the ground and picked up by the Chargers for a fumble recovery. So forth and so on. Late breaking news about the Jets. Let me know if something's breaking in the news about the Jets or anything else interesting. Matter. No, we haven't really gotten much news out of the Jets other than reporters reporting that it seems like they don't want to bring back Rodgers. Uh, but and then of course the manufactured narrative about Garrett Wilson and all of that, which I said on X is coming. That's their narrative. They've focused it on that. You're going to see a bunch of stories about Garrett Wilson and his contract and how he's not happy and he's not getting his targets and this and that. And that's exactly what happened. So you're starting to see more and more stories about that now. That's the chosen narrative. They don't have a lot of narratives that they can choose from for the Jets. There's just not a lot going on, really, that these people can write about that is going to make you care about anything other than, oh my God, we might lose Garrett Wilson. What are we going to do? Could lose him. We might not have him. We could lose him. Oh no. So that's what they got to write about. Of course, but we'll see what comes. We'll see what comes. We'll see what comes. Anything better than water? I don't think so. I don't think so. The virtual backgrounds are just not working. It's very interesting. Very interesting. This stream is also streaming over on Rumble. If you're on Rumble watching this stream, put in a comment. Let me know. See if I can see it. Probably nobody watching over there, but Also, same as X. This stream is also going out to x.com. If you're watching on X, put in a comment. Let's see if I can see it from X. We don't really get many comments from X, only YouTube. So let's, if you're watching on X, send in a comment. See if I can see it. So the Patriots have Alex Erickson on the team. He just returned a kick. That's a guy we had in training camp. He looked pretty good, but we let him go, and he's bounced around the league. Now he's with the Patriots. So they're showing the separation of the wide receivers. Only Pop Douglas is doing better than average. So that's number three. May back to pass, hands it off to Gibson. He's able to pick up about 3 yards. So the Patriots are down 17 to nothing, 2:40 and the clock rolling. Drake May did come back in the game after a concussion, so that's the good news. They have not been able to move the ball very much. Christian Gonzalez, however, bad news. Head injury out. No good. You hate to see that. Christian Gonzalez, probably concussion, you would think. Boy, it's so strange. He looked just fine as he was walking off the field. It's such a shame. All right, Drake May now in the shotgun. We got 12 personnel here. Oh, Austin Hooper, that's our second tight end. And he does throw it to Kendrick Bourne. Nice catch there. And a beautiful pass over the middle. So there's a nice throw. That's exactly what you want to see from the quarterback. Quick decision making, put a strike, put it on him. Nicely done. All right. Good job, Drake. Good job, Kendrick. They also have Hooper. That's their second tight end. I forgot about him. So yeah, people. So if anybody's new coming in, feel free to hit the like button, folks. Helps out the algorithm. If you're new to the channel, please subscribe if you like. If you're already subscribed, click the bell. All the clicking. But if you're on X or if you're on Rumble, send in a comment. Let's see if I can see it. I don't even know if I can see an X comment. Who knows? Maybe I can't even see them. No idea. No idea whatsoever. So if you're on Rumble, if you're on X, send in a comment. I can't see it. Can't see it if nobody leaves a comment, that's for sure. That's for sure. Well, let's check for late breaking news. Never know when there's going to be late breaking news, and you want to stay on top of that if you're doing a live stream because uh, you want to be on top of all of the information. Again, the report says Gonzalez ruled out with a concussion. So no bueno for Mr. Gonzalez. Michael Penix got engaged. So there's some breaking news. Michael Penix, the new starting quarterback for your Atlanta Falcons, engaged to a smiling fiance. Very nice. So the Colts have downgraded Anthony Richardson to out. So there's another running quarterback. Anthony Richardson will not play tomorrow, and old friend Joe Flacco will play for the Colts. So there's some late breaking news. Anthony Richardson not able to go. Joey Flacco, he going. Uh-oh. Dolphins are downgrading Tua Tagovailoa to doubtful for Sunday's game at Cleveland due to a hip injury. What? That's new news. So Tua may not play for the Dolphins. That's breaking news. Dolphins are elevating Skylar Thompson from their practice squad. So Skylar Gray, the Thompson gunner, he's playing. All right, back on the game. Drake May back to pass, fires to the left, and a nice catch by Kendrick Bourne. So this is good quarterback play here. This is what you like to see out of the young fella, Drake May. Back foot hit, ball comes out. Back foot hits, ball comes out. Tyler Huntley. If Tua doesn't go, then Tyler Huntley, Snoop Huntley will go and be the starter. And I guess Skylar Gray, the Thompson gunner, will be the backup. All right, May back to pass now and can't find anyone now. He's running again and sliding down. So they're now getting into field goal range. So 147 clock ticks. They have plenty of time and also all three timeouts. So let's see if they can get some points here before the end of the half. Couldn't find anybody to throw to, so he just took the running lane right up the middle. So that's nicely done. Would prefer he was able to find somebody, but couldn't. Slid down. Oh, they're way off sides there. So this is a free play for the Patriots. May seems to know that, so he throws it up and he hits the receiver. It's Pop Douglas. So that right there, I would say, is excellent recognition by the young quarterback. He saw that he had a free play, even though he probably didn't have the greatest look, just threw it up because he knew they were offsides. And Douglas able to come down with it and makes a nice catch. And I would say, yeah, he's definitely in the end zone, definitely a catch. That's a touchdown. So right there, that's a nice play by the young man, Drake May, recognizing what he had, throws it up, and connects. Worst thing that happens, it's incomplete or intercepted, but it doesn't matter because the Chargers were offsides and very clearly offsides. So bad discipline there by the Charger defense, enabling New England to score. It's a nice play by Drake May there. That's scary for Tua. He had major hip surgery during college. Yeah, but when did this hip thing come up now? That was a long time ago when he was coming out of college with a hip injury. I mean, that was what, 5, 6 years ago now? So when did this latest hip injury happen for Tua? I didn't hear about that. This is the first I'm hearing about it. So it looks like Tua's not going tomorrow. Looks like it's going to be Snoop Hundley for the Dolphins with backed up by Skylar Gray or whatever his name is. And let's see if there's any other news. Oh, it says here Dolphins quarterback Tua hurt his hip in week 15 versus the Texans. He took another hit last week versus the 49ers. He was limited in practice this week due to the injury. All right, so he injured it over the last couple of um, games. So this is, obviously bad for Tua, but also a situation that's bad for the Dolphins because they paid him. And now you have a guy who, injuries are starting to really pile up for him in terms of his career. So that's no good. That's no good. So that's really all of the news I'm seeing here. Biggest news there is Tua going to be out. Looks like for tomorrow. Looks like Xavier Restrepo is declaring. So the wide receiver from Miami, Xavier Restrepo, he's declaring he's coming into the draft. So he'll be drafted, obviously. So he's declaring. Doop-a-doo. That seems to be all of the news for right now. Biggest news, Tua continuing with injuries. That's not good for him, and it's not good for the Dolphins at all. So, yeah, that's what we got on the news wire, so to speak. And in this game, so the Patriots came to life here toward the end of the first half as Drake May came back in and made some nice plays with his arm and his legs. And then, as the Chargers were off sides and he was getting pressured, he threw one up toward the end zone and a nice catch made by Pop Douglas. So they were able to get on the board in the first half, 17-7. But now there's 124 left, and let's see if Herbert's able to engineer another scoring drive here before the half. He's got plenty of time. The Chargers have 2 timeouts remaining. And let's see if he's able to get even more points up on the board. Seemed like the Chargers secondary just lost sight of the ball there, unfortunately. So not exactly, the greatest pass, but the idea of it was good. The thought process, let me just throw this up. We got the penalty anyway. Maybe something good will happen. That's what you like out of that situation. McConkey with another catch here. They really kind of need to move with a little more alacrity. Uh, so 1 minute left, 2nd and 7. There we go. Palmer. Now they're at about midfield. Might want to take a timeout here, or at least no, they're not going to. Just move quickly. All right, 48 seconds. Clock is ticking. They're at midfield. Todd is here. Good to see you, Todd. And Herbert got to pass. Looking. I think they let too much time go on that one. They should have just spiked it or called a timeout, maybe. But 32 seconds now remaining, 2nd and 10. They just decided to just come to the line and do it quickly, but they let a lot of time go off the clock there. And Herbert was not able to find someone in the end. So, you know, you clocked it. Could have saved yourself some time, but there's still plenty of time. 32 ticks left on the clock. And we'll see if they're able to convert. Todd says, give Frankie some likes. Yeah, please do. Appreciate that, Todd. All right, out of the shotgun now. Herbert just gets it away, and now he's going to run. Not able to get the first down, but 27 seconds. And now you call timeout. All right. Still got one left. 3rd down. Getting closer to field goal position. Maybe they're able to get another field goal here out of this before the end of the half to increase their lead over your New England Patriots. So we'll have to see about that one. 3rd down and 3 now. Down and 3. For some more yardage. So Herbert in the shotgun. So this is 4 down territory for Herbert. Back to throwing deep down the left hand side, overthrows his man. So no bueno there. 23 seconds remaining, but they're probably going to go for it on 4th. You would have to think. There's only 23 seconds remaining. Seems like they should be able to convert on this. Not sure what good punting would do. Then again, if you go for it on 4th and don't make it, then May has a chance to get back on the field. A couple of passes, maybe get a field goal. So that's the risk you're taking here. But they are going to go for it and be aggressive. 4th and 3, or at least they're going to line up to go for it. Let's see if they actually snap the ball. They do. Herbert in the shotgun, looking, throws over the middle. Nice catch by 84. Now you got to spike it or call timeout. 1st down. They do call their final timeout, I guess. Looks like. Ball was behind him, but he made a nice catch. 84. Smart made a smart play there. Nicely done, 84. They called timeout immediately, but now they have no timeouts remaining. 17 seconds to go. So if they do want to stop the clock, it have to be, spike or going out of bounds. But now they're firmly within field goal range. It'll still be a long field goal from here, so you definitely want to pick up some more yardage if you can. So shotgun again for Herbert. Let's see. No real pass rush. Now escapes out to the right. Throws incomplete. So 11 seconds left. You really, And now they throw a flag. I think they're going to get roughing the passer. So, yep, roughing the passer on the defense. That's going to give them 15 yards. And that was on Ngakwe, I guess. Unique Ngakwe's on this team, everybody. Who knew that? Raise your hand if you knew Unique Ngakwe was on the Patriots. I didn't know that. Yeah, completely unnecessary by Ngakwe. Guy had thrown the ball. You can't do that in the modern NFL, Unique. Sorry. You may not like it, but you can't do it. That's how they call it. All right, now they're at the 20-yard line, so they're firmly within field goal range now. Still would like to maybe take a shot at the end zone now. Patriots are going to call a timeout, it seems like. But 11 seconds left, so basically maybe one more play. You basically have to go out of bounds in the end zone or throw it away and then go for a field goal, I guess. So 11 seconds remaining. 17-7, the Chargers are on top of the Patriots at the here at the end of the first half. A first half that was dominated pretty much by the Chargers. Now the Patriots are all playing outside and deep, so they're not even probably going to rush anybody. Maybe one guy or maybe none. They're not rushing anybody. They're letting. They still got a guy behind the defense somehow, but incomplete anyways. So 6 seconds. Now you kick the field goal and don't play around. Just get the points that you can get. So they were able to at least get a try off for a field goal here with Dicker, the kicker, and you know, for a half where they really dominated the time of possession, they dominated the yardage, they dominated everything. Uh, you know, hey, what can you say? Look like looks like they're going to be making the playoffs if this kind of thing continues. Dicker missed it, I think. Oh no, they said it was good. Wow, I thought he missed it. Was that? Wait a minute. Was that really good, or did he miss it? They really should make these goalposts taller. Oh yeah, I guess he. I don't know, man. Depends. They got to make these goalposts taller. I guess that angle shows it. Yeah. Well, he made it, but he made it. So 20-7, the Chargers are now leading the Patriots. Patriots had basically one good, nice drive by Drake May, including a sort of a Hail Mary type of pass that, boy, from certain angles, it looks like he misses it. But then you do the under angle, it looks like he hit it. Very strange. They should make these goalposts taller. Why not? What's holding us back? Let's use our minds and get these things up there. If guys are kicking them above the goalpost, make the goalpost taller. Why not? The hell are we doing over here? All right, in the final kickoff, last 2 seconds of the half, Gibson gets it and tackled at the 30. So that'll end the half. 20-7. Oh no, it won't because there's got to be a flag, of course. Penalty on the play. Penalty on the play. Penalty on the play. Penalty on the play. Sign it and go into the locker room. Let's go. Penalty declined. Halftime. Now let's see in the second half if the Patriots are going to be able to um, mount any sort of a real comeback. I myself am going to take a bio break and be back in a moment. So talk amongst yourselves. We're back. We're back. We're back. Oh yeah, sad news. Greg Gumbel passed away yesterday. If you guys didn't see that, he's a great one. Great sportscaster, Greg Gumbel. Unfortunately, passed away from cancer. No bueno. No bueno. Uh, but now we're at halftime. Drake May, 5 for 5, 66 yards and a touchdown. Yeah. Oh yeah. So Jackson Dart declared for the draft. So there's a guy you could get maybe in the middle rounds. Who knows? We'll have to see how the rankings come out. You know, late rounds, middle rounds. Who knows? But that's another guy who declared. Jackson Dart. Great name for a quarterback. But other than the name, not sure how much of a prospect he really is, actually. So yeah, let's check and see what kind of news is coming out at this point in time as they're doing their halftime show with the Colleen Wolf and the Mariucci and uh, the former player over here to the running back. Jets are loading up, going to Buffalo. They're posting the videos and pictures. Saturday hockey. Anybody excited about hockey getting started? Dart is supposed to be a good player. I don't know. I think most people have him in back rounds, mid rounds, back of the draft, as far as I remember. Doobadoo. So it doesn't seem like there's very much else going on in terms of the news. Tony Pollard has the flu. He not playing for the Titans. There's also an article that came out today that the Titans are going to stick with Callahan, the young coach. No surprise there, but some reason it was an article. I guess just because they're playing so poorly. Maybe some thought he'd get fired, but I think they always knew it was kind of going to be a long-term deal. So we'll have to see about that. But, you know, one of the things you see with these Patriots is so so far, you know, you see that Drake May is performing better than some of his young compatriots, Caleb Williams, Spencer Rattler. You can see that Drake May has more of a grasp on the game. You can see him processing better than some of his compadres. Not all the time. His stats look good, but if you watch the game, there were some things that, not great, but still not a lot of mistakes. He's mobile, able to run around. So I think the Patriots pretty much have found their guy, seems like. Now you never know. Sometimes they take a step back. Look at CJ Stroud, look at Trevor Lawrence. They've taken a bit of a step back in certain ways. So you never really know, but it looks like the Patriots found their guy in Drake May. So we'll just have to see uh, how he's able to continue playing. So that's another good reason to watch this game. That's why I'm glad he didn't get one of the reasons. I'm glad he didn't get injured because if he's injured, there's not a lot of real reasons, not a lot of good reasons to watch the Patriots, if you know what I'm saying. Not exactly a lot of good reasons to sit around and watch the Patriots all day. See if we can fix the background issue by any chance. Does not seem so. Even the blur background does not want to work. Some reason. Very strange to me. Very strange to me. Oh well, guess you guys will just have to look at my terrible background. Audiobook studio back there, makeshift. Makeshift audiobook studio, ladies and gentlemen. I work on certain projects when we're not talking about football all day long. But we do have 3 games today to get through. This just being the first. So we'll see how the Broncos look against the Bengals. So there's another young quarterback to take a look at. 4 p.m. today. Bo Nix got the Broncos at 9-6. 9-6, Bo Nix. But then they have to play the Bengals with Joe Burrow. Joe Burrow's been playing excellent football this year, but the Bengals are 7-8, mostly because their defense has been terrible. And you got to wonder what the hell happened with Lou Amarillo's crew over there. This was a guy who was thought of to be one of the guys who maybe could get some head coaching looks. Amarillo over there, the defensive coordinator for the Bengals, but this year they've been terrible. So I don't think he's going to get any looks for that. But can they fix themselves in time to make a little bit of a playoff run? They have 8 losses. They got to win out, obviously, and get some help. But maybe they could sneak into the playoffs, and then you got Joe Burrow on their team in the playoffs, and that's a scary thought for any opponent of that team. So we'll just have to see how that works itself out. Patriots to receive the second half kickoff as they're down 13 points against the Los Angeles Chargers. Let's see if the Chargers are able to dominate the time of possession again and kind of hold off the Patriots. As the young quarterback, Drake May, I'm sure, is going to want to continue to put points back on the board and come back into this game and play spoiler for the Los Angeles Harboys. We'll see how that does. We'll see how that does. If you're watching this live stream from Rumble or X, please send in a comment. Let me see if I can see any comments from X or Rumble. In addition to YouTube, always good to stream multiple places. Why not? Try multiple places, see what happens. But if you're watching on X or Rumble, send in a comment. Let's see if I can see it. Hard to know if the comments don't come in. Also, feel free to hit the like button if you haven't already and subscribe to the channel if you're not already subscribed. And if you're already subscribed, click the bell for notifications of everything that's going on at the Frankie from Flatbush football channel. We're starting to look at things outside of the Jets, maybe do watch-alongs and other things outside the Jets, simply because, hey, if all we do is focus on the Jets, that's not good for our mental health. Let's be honest. The Jets, until further notice, are in the ghetto. Okay. Nightshade Jones says, "Why don't your likes show up?" I don't know, Nightshade. You think I know? Maybe you have to refresh. I don't see, for example, I'm in Restream right now, Nightshade. I have no idea how many likes people have given on this program. That's not something I am privy to at the moment. So I don't even know how many likes have been given. You tell me, Nightshade. Maybe you have to refresh it. Maybe it'd be nice if YouTube could figure out a live counter. Not that I get so many likes that it's hard to keep up, but I don't know, Nightshade. You think I know? I'm lucky that this frickin' microphone works. I'm lucky that the laptop works. A couple of weeks ago, I turned the laptop on and didn't even want to work. And this is a brand new laptop. So I'm just lucky my hardware works, let alone, software as a service and things of that nature. They are not showing up, says Ohio Jet fan. Just got here. I don't know, man. YouTube is a big, big company. Google and Alphabet own YouTube, and they're a big company. I don't know why their product doesn't work. I mean, I'm in Restream. I couldn't even get my damn background to work. Now the camera's fuzzy. See all this stuff going on, man? It's like, geez. There we go. We can't even get the basics to work. We can't even get the basics to work around here. Must be Mercury in retrograde or something. It normally is a live counter, says Nightshade Jones. I don't know. I hit like. It's not showing up. Well, I'm the last person to let you know why that's happening. I have no idea. Todd says I noticed that also. Maybe maybe my whole channel's malfunctioning. Everything's going wrong all the time. Your analysis must be that great. Yeah, or that terrible. They're like, YouTube's like, this guy, well, he doesn't need any likes. We, we can forget about him. Forget about him in the algorithm. He's a loser. Forget him. We don't need no Frankie stuff. Get that guy out of here. I don't know. I don't know, man. There's only so much I could do because when you do these broadcasts, you have to do it from like StreamYard, or Restream or one of these things, or Rumble even has a studio. So I'm doing it from Restream, and there's only so much I can see. All right, May now back to pass. All right, goes over, drops it off to the running back. So you see a bunch of stuff you do like out of Drake May. Even when there's a flag, so it looks like this is coming back. But even when things don't go well and things are a little bit off, he's not panicking and he's not making things that are not optimal terrible. Some of these quarterbacks take a bad situation and make it much, much worse. Seems like he's able to, that's a holding call on the Patriots. Seems like he's able to make the best out of whatever the situation is. So I like what I'm seeing out of Drake May, even though you can see there's a lot, there's development yet to be done. Not a finished product by any means. So I like what I'm seeing out of Drake May if you're a Patriot fan, that is, or just somebody evaluating the quarterback, position. And so now he's first and 20 at his own 20-yard line. He's out of the shotgun here, 11 personnel on the field, throws it quickly, a little high. That's something you don't like to see, these young quarterbacks when they're throwing the ball high, but not too high because Butte was able to come down with it. Keishon Butte, shake your Butte. Nightshade says, well, I'm here with you, Frankie. Even being a Bills fan, I'm here with you. Well, good to have you, Nightshade, and good luck in the playoffs for your Bills. We'll be watching Mr. Allen and Mr. Lamar and Mr. Patrick Mahomes and see which one comes out on top. All right, Drake May now running for his life, and he's able to escape the pass rush and gets a 3-yard gain. So again, that's not great. This is not a great play by any means that just happened. But what was the outcome? He's able to get 3 yards as opposed to getting sacked for 20. So, I like what I'm seeing out of this kid. I really am. I think he and Jaden Daniels, it seems like, were the pick of the litter, at least so far, out of that draft class. So we'll have to see how everybody does in the future. But so far, so good, I would say, for Mr. Drake May. Now 39 again in the shotgun, 11 personnel. Hunter Henry in motion. He's the tight end. They do not use Javon Baker, these Patriots, for some reason. Hit as he throws, incomplete. So the offensive line needs much improvement, I would say, for the Patriots. Now they should be punting. Now, the the fact of the matter is they do not use Javon Baker at all. So it's a little bit of a Malachi Corley situation. Oh, he had him right there. If he didn't get hit, that was going to be a completion. So that's on the offensive line there. Had the wide open receiver, is going to be right to him, and he got hit, and the ball was short. So not really his fault there. And they punted, and Davis has got a big punt return out to the 30, out to the 40. He might go all the way, 50, 40, 30. He's going all the way, but there is a flag on the play. So I think this one's coming back, probably. Yes, it will be. Illegal blocking Uranus. I think you're forgetting Bo Nix. Oh, yeah, then you got Bo Nix. Yeah, I'm forgetting Bo Nix, Penix. There's other people. What about Penix? Bo Nix, I haven't been able to watch Bo Nix as much. But obviously his team is 9-6, so he's performing well. We know that. I watched him early in the season. He wasn't doing as well, but obviously he got a lot better as the season went along. So I'll watch Bo Nix in the next game. So we'll keep an eye on that. Well, don't worry about it, Todd. Not everybody can do everything. You got to be able to do the things that you're able to do. I would say flag, flag on the play, hold, blocking the back receiving team. Oh, and a holding. So they did everything wrong on that play. They were holding, they were blocking in the back, they were doing everything wrong. Two fouls on the same play, so they had an exciting punt return for a touchdown, called back by two penalties. So now the Chargers instead will have the ball, and we'll see if they can control the game and the ball and the time of possession and all of that. Nightshade says, even though he's like 26, played 6 years at college, yeah, but you know what, Nightshade? I think that's going to become more of the norm. I really do. Because who cares about the fact that a quarterback's 26 years old? Quarterbacks play into their mid to late 30s. So, unlike running backs, here's the thing about age running backs typically fall off at age 28. Typically, the bell curve of when they fall off is around 28 years old. There's some on the right side of the bell curve, some on the left side of the bell curve, but for the most part, running backs 28. For wide receivers, for example, it's 32. Same thing. The bell curve is 32. There's some on the right side of the bell curve, some on the left side of the bell curve. But quarterbacks, there's not really something like that, except maybe you'd say maybe 40 is a marker where it's pretty much they're falling off by their late 30s, say. So for me, I don't care if a guy's older as a quarterback, and because to me that means a lot of experience that he's gained in the college ranks. And that means he's probably going to need to develop less in the pros. So I actually prefer a guy who's played a lot of college ball. And I think the success of Bo Nix if it continues, and especially if they make the playoffs and so on, I think a lot of people are going to change their minds about that, and they're going to say, "Well, I'm going to look at an older quarterback who has a lot of playing experience in college as a positive, and say that's not a negative for him for quarterback position. I want that type of guy because there's not. If you think about it, all these guys just aren't developing. Think of all the guys that didn't develop. All the guys in the Zach Wilson draft class, all the guys, all the guys from that 3 year period where 20 out of 20, something like 21 out of 23 or something like that, you know, are pretty much aren't performing up to expectation because the NFL is a hard place to go and develop. And now with NIL deals, so that's why I'm surprised Carson Beck is coming into this draft. Now with NIL deals, guys can go back into college, get paid. They're not sacrificing that much. They can get paid. I mean, they are sacrificing some money, but they still get paid. And then they can develop and come into the league a little bit more mature and ready to go. And I think that's an advantage. So I will see how that plays out, but that's what I'm thinking currently. Hand off to J.K. Dobbins, makes about 4 or 5 yards on first down. That's what you want. Now they're showing the replay. Basically, the Gunners are the ones who, yeah, that's a block in the back for sure. Shouldn't have even touched him. He probably didn't even need to do that. Just let him go, man. Why take the chance? So 2nd and 5 now, and Herbert is in the shotgun. We got 11 personnel on the field. McConkey in motion, left to right now, back out right in the slot. And Herbert looks right over to the flat, incomplete. Now it'll be 3rd down. See if they can get a first down. They make a lot of NIL money these days. Yeah, that's right, Ohio Jets fan. And that's the point. Especially the quarterbacks. Quarterbacks are the ones who make the most money. Good pass rush by Keon White, 99. That's a good player that the Patriots have on the defensive line. Keon White, 99. He is a very good player for them. They're nickel. So it's 11 versus nickel here. 4-man rush. They flush him out. He's able to get it out to Johnston. Can he convert? Yes, he can. Ooh, he dropped the ball, but I think that's definitely a catch and a fumble and a recovery. Well, might have been down before he fumbled it. But they were able to flush him out of the pocket, but he found his receiver who was able to get the first down, Johnston. So Quentin Johnston really improving, it seems like, and becoming at least a useful receiver. Oh, man down for the Patriots, unfortunately. And it's White. I just sang his praises, and now he's injured. God golly. All right, hopefully nothing too serious for Keon White. Really good player as he was going down the field. Oh, friendly fire. His own teammate hit him in the, and then his other teammate fell on him. That's not good. You get hit by one teammate, and then another teammate falls on your head. That's no bueno. It's like, come on, boys. This game is rough enough as it is. We don't need to be taking out our own players. What is going on here? So yeah, I think the NIL money is really changing the game, especially for quarterbacks. Again, they don't have the same time pressures as a running back, wide receiver, other type of players. Their positions all, not all, but mostly about the brain. And the more developed your brain is, the more things you've seen, the more reps you have. To me, that's a plus. That's a big plus. So I actually like these older quarterbacks. Now Bo Nix like set the record for most, you know, college games ever or something like that. So he's a bit of an outlier that way. But in general, I like these older QBs. And I think it's going to become more of a trend for the quarterback position where they stay in longer, stay in college longer. Now I don't understand why Carson Beck is coming into this draft. Why did he declare? Because he's coming off an injury. He had a UCL. He was not exactly a top pick. It's not like he's going in the first round, second round anyway, Carson Beck, I don't think. and he's coming off Tommy John surgery. So why is he declaring instead of going back? I don't get that one. Anybody know? Carson Beck. I mean, where's Carson Beck projected to go? I mean, this is a guy who's not even going to be able to throw for the pre-draft stuff. He's not going to be ready to throw for the pre-draft evaluation stuff. So not going to be at the combine, not going to have a pro day, any of that. I don't think. I think, anyways. So why is he coming into the draft? Seems like a mistake, in my opinion. Seems like a mistake, in my opinion. But somebody's advising him. All right, Keon White's got his helmet on. He's on the sideline, so it seems to be all right. All right, 1st and 10 now. So the Chargers still at the 18-yard line, the negative 18. So they load the box, run against it anyway, and Dobbins only gets a yard. There's a lot of people in the box to try and run it against. Not sure that was so smart, but what is your thoughts on Jordan Travis? Jordan Travis is a giant mystery box. We have no idea. Nobody does. So he comes into what's going to happen is Jordan Travis is going to come into training camp. Hopefully he can physically perform, you know, and once he comes into training camp, we'll do an evaluation of him. There's no way to know anything about Jordan Travis as a pro at this point. He's a giant mystery box. He'll come in, he'll get to compete, and we'll see what he's got. All right, Justin Herbert back to pass now out of the shotgun, throws it over to his tight end Disley. Nice move, able to pick up 6 or 7 extra yards. That's a first down. All right, once again now they're starting to move the ball. And you really have to wonder what the hell happened to this Patriot defense. Been a strength of theirs for so long. Now they lost Christian Gonzalez even, so that's even worse. But they're giving up a lot of yardage, time of possession, all that stuff to the Chargers in this game, and that continues a trend of poor defensive play for the Patriots. They had Keon White come out this week and say they don't even know what their identity is. Your identity is supposed to be pounding somebody in the mouth. But it hasn't been that way this year since Belichick left, and it's surprising because Gerard Mayo is his hand-picked successor to come in and keep continuity, especially with that defense. So, got to see what's going on there. Okay, but about 10 minutes remaining in the third quarter, the Chargers are on the march once again. They're up 20-7. They've been dominating this game in terms of time of possession and yardage and the scoreboard. So let's see if they're able to continue. 2nd and 7 now at the 37-yard line. Quick pass out to McConkey. Got some blockers, but not that many. Squirts out to about the 41-yard line. So it'll be 3rd and medium here as the clock continues to roll. One thing for sure about these Chargers, boy, that lad McConkey's such a good little possession receiver. I'll tell you that much. Smart, good hands, gets open. You like him. That was a good draft pick right there. Lad McConkey. All right, now they're going 11 personnel on 3rd and 3. Put the tight end in motion. We got bunch, trips, right. Okay, so we're hoping for man and get a natural pick on that trips. And he throws it downfield. He's got Josh Palmer over to the 39-yard line now of the Patriots. So they're able to get what they wanted. Palmer open, boom, nice pass right on him. Good job, Herbie. And you see this bunch, you really want to make the Patriots declare, but really, defensive back just not able to keep up with the wide receiver. Too much speed on that one. And Herbie found him perfectly, puts it on him. Boom, let's go. Let's go, boys. Nice job, Herbie. All right, now he's under center, and we got a fullback in the game, so let's see if they smash mouth it. Well, they tried, but good defense there by the Patriots. One of the linebackers coming through, Taki. Nice play on that one. Able to find the right hole and attack it. So he sees it. Oh, That wasn't actually Taki Taki. It was Ekwali who made the play. Taki Taki was just standing around. Good job, 95. Ekwali, another good defensive lineman that the Patriots have. Decent. 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 Todd says good, question mark, question mark, question mark. What does that mean, Todd? Good? What kind of good? All right, second and 10 now. Total yards. Chargers 300. Patriots 100. No bueno for the Patriots. All right, now he's in the shotgun with this tight end fullback combo guy in motion. Now playing the tight end position, 42. And he fakes a throw out to the left, looks over the middle, down the field. He's got a man. It's McConkey, and that's a touchdown. Nice job, 15. Boy, that lad McConkey, I like him a lot. A lot, a lot. That is a good receiver. And that's another 6 points put up on this lackluster Patriot defense. Going to be a lot of soul searching done by the Patriots about their defense. What's going on with this defense? They can't stop anybody. Look at the question. I don't know what you're talking about, Todd. It's a good question. Oh, okay. Well, they hit the extra point, and now the Chargers are up 27-7. Beautiful pass from Herbert to McConkey. Seems like that connection is going to be one that is, torturing the NFL for a long time. Lad McConkey, the young man, seems like he is quite the receiver, I must say. Great draft pick there. Blowout incoming. Well, it's already 27-7, Ohio, so already kind of there. Only thing to watch now for the Patriots is Drake May, as we've been saying. Drake May is the only real reason to watch this team. What happened to the defense, you might say? This used to be a team that would smash you in the mouth. You had a hard time figuring out what they were doing, what was going on, and now it seems like they're one of the worst defenses in all of football, and you got to wonder why, because they have a lot of the same players. So what the hell happened? And maybe that shows you what a great defensive coach Bill Belichick is, because you have a lot of the same players. Mayo is on the staff. They held over one of the Belichick's, Brian or something, to be the defensive backs coach, and they're getting lit up. I mean, last week we heard quotes from not Diedrich Wise, but Keon White saying we don't know what our identity is on defense. We're getting sick and tired of this and that. I'm sick and tired of losing. I'm sick and tired of giving up so many points. This defense, it stinks. We don't know what our identity is. He says, well, whose fault is that? I mean, you have a lot of the same players, and you're getting lit up like a Christmas tree. Okay, every week you have all these same players. What happened exactly here? We don't know. Nobody knows. It's a big mystery, but it's not looking too good for Demarcus Covington, their defensive coordinator. I'll tell you that much. But Gerard Mayo is a guy who is on the Belichick staff, was supposed to take care of the defense, no problem. We're going to have continuity there. And we're going to do a whole new thing on the offense with Alex Van Pelt and Drake May and this one and that one. Okay, good, but now we can't stop a nosebleed, and everybody's blowing us out on the defensive side. So what the hell is going on with that? So if you're the Patriots, you got to wonder what the hell is going on with these players who were playing well on defense when we had Belichick, but now the same players can't play well under anybody else under the new regime. So that's got to be of a concern to the Patriot fans. On the other side, on the other hand, yeah, could be reset mode. In other words, maybe they're just all checked out. But that's not what was being said in the press last week by Keon White. He was pretty upset. He was not checked out. Now, maybe he's just one of the few. I don't know. But the Lad McConkey gives a football to a little Charger fan there. Good job, Mr. McConkey. He's a good lad, as they say. He's a good lad. He's a good lad. Um, so you really got to. So maybe it's other people, but Keon White was pretty upset about it last week, and now they're giving up 27 points. There's only 7 minutes remaining in the third quarter, so they could put up 40 if they really. Seems like if they really want to. So I don't know. I don't know what's going on, but maybe they're yeah, maybe it's just the end of the season. I mean, if you listen to a lot of the fan bases around the NFL, a lot of them are pretty upset with their own defenses. As May completes a pass to Butte, they refuse to put Javon Baker in there. I'd like to know what's going on with Javon. He was one of my favorites in the draft. I'm a little biased because he's from UCF, where I am, so I'm a little biased, but he's kind of like Malachi. He can't get on the field for some reason. He was very well thought of coming. They were thrilled to get him, but he's not getting on the field. All right, here's a running play with Antonio Gibson. That's -2. No bueno. Third down and 4. Let's see if old Drake May is able to convert on third down. You want to judge your quarterbacks a lot of the times on third and fourth down. Can they convert the money down? Oh, is this fourth down? Thought it was third down. All right, well, even better. Fourth and 2. Let's see if old Drake May can convert this fourth down with Alex Van Pelt being the offensive coordinator. And people are saying Alex Van Pelt's going to get fired. He's the last one you should fire, in my opinion. This is like fourth and 2.5. Well, something like that. All right, now he's in the shotgun, 7-6 as the play clock goes down. Now he's back to pass. Let's see if he can find. Okay, no, he's not. That's a sack. All right, no bueno, but had to run for his life. So that's what I mean. This is what we saw when we watched the game with Caleb Williams. Anytime they knew he was going to pass, they just sent the all-out blitz, and the Bears were not able to handle it. The Patriots not able to handle this. They got an overload blitz on the left-hand side, and one comes in, Derwin James. You don't want to let Derwin James come in without touching him. So they had receivers kind of open. I mean, the guy was in trail position, but overload blitz, and they just overloaded it, and they got home. So no bueno. But this is what happens with young QBs. Sounds like the coaching is suspect. Look at the Jets, need a big reset. Yeah, I think the New England press is going round and round about this. Is DeMarcus Covington really the reason? Or is he going to get fired? Is Alex Van Pelt going to get fired? Seems like from what the reporting was, is that AVP was the one who is really suspect, and there's almost another touchdown to McConkey. Threw it a little high, otherwise it would have been another touchdown to McConkey. This guy gets open, I'll tell you that much. At least in this game he is. Um, and Herbie just overthrew him there. He had him wide open. Just overthrew him a bit. Put it in the bucket, Herbie. It's a nice route there. Natural pick. But they're talking about DeMarcus Covington. They're talking about AVP. I mean, to me, you look at Drake May, he looks like a competent quarterback. I would not fire AVP at all. I wouldn't even think about it. Crazy? Give the kid continuity. When you want to ruin the kid, give him a new coordinator every year like you did with Mac Jones. Here's another incomplete pass. Maybe we should be running out the clock. Los Angeles, what are we doing? Getting pass happy. A lot of these teams do get pass happy. Although Greg Roman is their offensive coordinator, can't exactly call him Mr. Pass Happy, at least as far as his reputation is concerned. He's a big run guy, run heavy type of offensive coordinator. That's his reputation anyway. So third down and 10 now after the fourth down. Now they're already in field goal range, so even if they don't get another yard, it'll be a field goal attempt here. 11 personnel against nickel. Looks like they're trying to bring some pressure. They do. And now Herbert flushes out to the right. Ooh, is that pass interference? No, does not seem so. So incomplete, 3 straight incompletions. Not great out of the Chargers offense there, but they will be able to go for the field goal here as they did an overload blitz. Keon White pressured him and just not able to hit on that one. Good coverage there by Bolden, 29, whoever that may be. Cameron Dicker, the kicker now, into the ball game. 41-yard attempt. The hold, the kick, it is up and good. So 30-7, this game moves. Oh, looks like we got a bot in here. Let me get rid of this thing. You know things are going well when you get the bots. So there we go. Sounds like coaching. Yeah. So that's what the New England media is really trying to figure out in all of the stories coming out. From all the Patriot, you know, press outlets is who's gonna is Mayo safe? Is Mayo not safe? Who's going to stay and go from the coaching staff, et cetera, et cetera. Now they're going to have good draft picks, and I do believe they have a lot of money in cap space. So they'll be able to reload the team. They obviously need their most obvious needs are offensive line and wide receiver. They have one good wide receiver. Bourne is okay ish. So they need a couple more. They're projected to take Travis Hunter. I'm not sure how much they need Travis Hunter. Travis Hunter looks like he's going to be a cornerback in the league who plays maybe 5 or 10 snaps at receiver also per game. But I'm not so sure that's the biggest need that they have. But on the other hand, where they're going to be picking, there's not an offensive lineman worth that pick. So a team like the Patriots might want to try to trade out of their position and get, stockpile some picks because not so sure they want Travis Hunter now. If they got Travis Hunter, it'd be interesting because they do need a wide receiver, and he is a dynamic wide receiver. But people are saying he's probably going to be primarily a cornerback in the league, not a wide receiver. And they're going with Bourne and Douglas and Butte as their primary receivers. They won't give Javon Baker a shot. And play action, and May doesn't like it, so he's flushed out to the left. It runs for about 6 yards on first down. What's on the draft strength? People are saying defensive line is a draft strength. I'm not too sure. I'm gonna have to wait and see. Some of these, it depends on who comes out also. So all these kids are making their decisions now. So some stay in school. We got to see who all decides to come into the draft before we can really know. There's a pass to the tight end. Nice throw and catch to Austin Hooper. Very nicely done. First down for the Patriots. As the clock continues to roll, 4:51 left in this ball game. They are using, they're trying to go for a screen right there. That did not work. You also had a legal man downfield that they didn't call. Not going to call intentional grounding, but you had a legal man downfield on the center, but not that we need to call that right now. We don't need to make Gerard Mayo's headaches any more than they are. But 30-7, one of the things that the press has been saying is, well, how the team looks over the final few weeks could have an influence on ownership. Last week they hung with the Bills and lost by about 3 points. Now they're losing by 23 points in the third quarter. Though May has looked okay, and here comes the press. He throws downfield, and that was not good. So that should have been intercepted, but was not. So that was a TWP, turnover worthy play. Not sure what he was looking at there. The guy was double covered. And he was trying to go to Butte, double covered, and he overthrew him. So no bueno there. But overall, he's looked okay and good. So uh, we'll have to see. But they really don't, and they have not been using 12 personnel. You'd think they might. They have decent tight ends. There's a pass to Pop Douglas. Good pitch and catch. So again, I'm seeing some good things out of Drake May. Frankie, no pay for your service to us. What is? Yeah, I don't. This channel's not monetized, Ohio Jets fan. We got to get this thing monetized, buddy. That's what we got to do. That's why, likes and subscribes and clicking buttons helps out. The way you can pay me right now is click on any button that you can click on, whether it's a like or a bell notification, or if you're not subscribed yet, subscribe. Clicking all the buttons is the way to pay me right now. This channel is not monetized. We got to get watch time. We got to get things, all kinds of things. So that's the way to do a payment right now, Ohio. Likes really do help because it's all in the algorithm. The more likes a video gets, then YouTube says, "Oh, people really like this," and then they push it out to more people. It's basically the idea. Even leave a comment under this video. Just say, "Hi, Frankie." Right? Leave a comment. Any kind of interaction with the video feeds into the algorithm. So leave a comment down below. You know, something seems off with the page. Well, I don't know. I'll have to look into that after I go off the air. Maybe there is something off with the page. I don't know. Hopefully not, but you never know. But go ahead and leave a comment, or even after the video. If you can't leave a comment now, leave a comment after we go off the air when this game is over, because any kind of interaction with the video is good for the channel. And go watch my other videos, of course. One video I'd like to promote, if I could. If you go after this game is over, if you got some extra time, is a video called Media Masters. If you haven't watched the Media Masters video, I think it's pretty good. Where I talk about the influence of the media and some of the up and coming independent media that's going to challenge legacy media. So I would encourage folks who haven't watched that to watch it. I think it's an important video, and I think that we're going to do more videos about the media. I think it's a key issue. So if you can't leave a comment, try later. I don't know what's going on with the page. Another completion for Drake May. So one of the things about Drake May is that he's piling up these completions. He's piling up. You can see how efficient he is. He's not throwing a lot of incompletions. He had that one bad one that should have been intercepted, but for the most part, he's piling up completions. This is what you want a young quarterback to do, getting the ball out pretty quickly for the most part. Okay, that wasn't the best, but I don't know. I like what I'm seeing. So as far as what's going on with the channel, I don't know. I'm going to have to check that out later. Thanks for trying. I appreciate it. But in general, that's the way it is. And so, if you have nothing to do later, go watch some of my other videos and leave comments and say, "Hi, Frankie." If you have nothing to say, just say, "Hi, Frankie." And that's it. And then like them, click the like button and all that stuff. So that's what to do if you want the channel to really start to succeed and be successful. Ooh, what the hell happened here? They just let them come in. You should probably block Khalil Mack. Hello? You might want to block 52. He's kind of good. What the hell happened there? Fourth down. Not sure what in the world happened. You have one offensive lineman just standing around looking at things. That looks bad for the coaching right there. You got one guy looking like he doesn't know what's going on. The ball low, Vidarian low. That's not good for 59. Strange is the new center, but everybody looks like they know what they're 64 Robinson and something was wrong here. Something was wrong. So that doesn't look good for the coaching right there. You got to block Khalil Mack. That's rule number one of blocking. You block Khalil Mack. Tell you that much. You don't let him run in and kill your quarterback. Not sure what happened there. But yeah, in general, that's the way to help the channel if you're so inclined. Go back, watch videos, leave comments, leave like buttons, engage with the content. That's the way we're going to get where we need to go with all the numbers. You have to make a certain minimum numbers of watch time and subscribers and all that in order to monetize the channel. We're not there yet because you know, because not that many people like us, I guess, the way to say it. We're trying. We're trying on this end, but you know. Can only do so much. Can only do so much. So we'll see. Oh, this guy's going out. That's not good. We got a guy on a stretcher. One of the Charger defensive backs. It looks like Molden. They're carting him off. That's no bueno. Hopefully he's okay. Molden. He's got a big brace on his right knee. And now it looks like his left knee is injured. Boy, oh boy. All right. Well, they're carting him off. Hopefully the young man will be all right. Hopefully he'll be all right. 4th and 12. They're going for it. Okay. Down 23. Subjecting the young man. Now they bring in a condensed formation, tight splits here, subjecting this young man perhaps to a ferocious pass rush, but they only bring four. He throws it out. And yeah, a lot of contact there. Not a great throw, but they're going to get pass interference here. That was not a great play by the defensive back. He was all over the receiver. So this is going to be pass interference, and they're going to have the drive continue. And oddly enough, if he just didn't touch him, would have been incomplete because this is not a good throw, really. Butte, yeah, you can't do that. This guy's getting their hands on. Just got to stop doing that. And that was not a good throw there by May. It was out of bounds, so got bailed out by the penalty. But now the drive will continue. May looking left, looking center, looking right. Now he's going to run, flushed out. He goes ahead and takes 3 or 4 yards. What is the number to make this happen? Well, we got to get up to 1,000 subscribers for one thing, so we're far away from that. And then we got to get up to 3,000 hours of watch time, and I think I'm at like 2,250. So the more watch time I get, the better. So we got to get watch time, and there's one tier for the watch time, and then uh, you have that watch time and 500 subscribers, which we did hit, and then there's another thing at 1,000 subscribers. So, but right now the most important thing is watch time. So feel free to watch as many videos as you may like. That's incomplete there. They got to call that incompleto. Nice try by Gibson though, but this hits the ground certainly. That's incomplete. So 3rd and 7 as the Patriots continue on. Shotgun. Here comes a pass rush, and ball is tipped. So that'll be 4th down. And I guess they'll go for it. They went for it on 4th and 12, so might as well go for it on 4th and 7. And we'll see if the Chargers decide to bring some heat. They didn't last time, and May was able to get the defensive pass interference, even though the pass was not great. Yeah, they'll be going for it here on 4th down. Try to convert. Why not? Let's let the young man get some experience. 4th and 7. Now it looks like they're going to bring some heat on the pass rush here. They bring the formation in, bring a tight end in to block a little bit. Derwin James gets home though, and down goes Drake May. So yeah, with these young QBs, you just bring the heat. Not able to do much. All right. This was just an overload blitz, and the running back tried to block him, but Derwin James just knocked him on his butt. You try to block me with a running back? I don't think so. Could have got hands to the face there. He was touching a face mask, but they didn't call that. And Derwin James just knocks him to the ground. Sakalaka. Goodbye, Mr. May. See you later. 4 sacks for the Chargers on this ball game. So let's see if they try to run the ball out as this clock continues to tick, and time of possession will continue to accrue to the Chargers here. They got the big fullback in. Nope, they throw it outside to Johnston on a little smoke pass, and he makes about 7 yards on that one. So not too shabby. Under pressure today, 4 out of 7 for Justin Herbert. Under no pressure, 21 out of 29. He's thrown his 3 touchdowns with no pressure in his face. He's got about 274 yards on the day, so that's a pretty good day for Mr. Herbie. I would say getting May killed, yeah, but the kid, I think, has held up pretty well. I think he's acquitted himself pretty well. Another pass, so they're not just content to run out the clock, and he almost throws an interception. Run out the clock, Harbaugh. What is your freaking problem? Greg Roman. Now you have a guy like Greg Roman who's known for running the ball, and he's just getting pass happy with Herbie here. And you figure 2nd down and 3, we're up by 23 points. Just run the ball, try to get the first down. Then on 3rd down, you can do whatever you want. But meanwhile, keep the clock running. But no, he goes back to pass, and because he's got Herbert, he thinks Herbert, think obviously it's like, well, I got Herbert, he'll take care of it. Now they run it on 3rd down, and they're going to get the first down here. J.K. Dobbins, horse collar, but I don't think they're going to call it. There you go. Now that's a nice running play. So now they're talking about that horse collar. They're saying it's a hold on somebody. Personally, I wouldn't have called that. Personal foul on defense. Horse collar. Yeah, they did call the horse collar. Personally, I wouldn't have called it, but what do I know? Looked bad, but I mean, he got his hand off. Is that really a horse collar? He had his hand on his back. I mean, there's a tackle, back tackling. Mm, I don't care that either way. But now they got the two fullback tight end types in there. Interesting formation in the backfield. This is the kind of like we're going to smash you in the mouth formation. Full house backfield with two fullback tight end types. They're trying to make a statement. Certainly, the Patriots are not making a statement. That much we know. That much we know. And this is kind of the way the Patriots should be handling things. Just run the damn ball, let the clock tick out. You're making gains on these runs anyway. Now you're in field goal range already, 2nd and 3. Just keep it rolling. Keep it nice and safe. Keep the clock rolling. No reason why not. That's going to be the end of the 3rd quarter. Now it'll be 3rd and 2. Worst thing that happens, you have another field goal attempt. And this is good for your offensive line. They love this. Run, run, run. They love that. Let them eat. Let your offensive line eat. One thing Jim Harbaugh said at some point, he said, we think of offensive linemen as weapons. Somebody asked him a question about, are you going to take a weapon in the draft or an offensive lineman? And he said, we kind of think of offensive linemen as weapons. I love that. The offensive line as weapons. Yeah. All right. So let's check for any news. Any news coming through? We got news about Tua Tango Vailoa, so let's check and see if there's any breaking snooze. Uh, UConn defeats North Carolina in the Fenway Bowl. They went 9-4. Congratulations to the University of Connecticut. Dan Orlovsky, the most famous graduate thereof. Bengals wide receiver T. Higgins is active. So T. Higgins will play in the Broncos Bengals game. Sheldon Rankins inactive. Rankins is struggling with injury, so we're not going to re sign him in the offseason in case anybody was wondering about old Sheldon Rankins. 49ers running back Isaac Guerrero, who's been limited, is expected to play Monday night. Isaac Guerrero looks like he's going to play. That's the latest and greatest from the Newswire, otherwise known as X. Let's see if there's anything from these people. No. These people, no. In breaking news, Dom C did a new mock draft where the Jets trade down to 14 and take Amika Ibuga. So we take a wide receiver in Dom C's latest mock. I guess that assumes that Adams is out of here. Find that kind of a player. We take him. We'll take him. We'll take him. David Stegosaurus says offensive lineman as weapon would be a mace, blunt force. Yeah. What about that kind of weapon? How about that kind of weapon? How is the tackle LAC drafted number one? He's playing great. That's what they were talking about. Joe Alt. He's fantastic. Number 76. You see him right here, right tackle. He's terrific. And they run the ball again. Little jump cut. Oh, can he get it outside? Can he get it outside? Yes, he can. They almost had him stuffed, but not quite. Not quite. Dobbins was able to jump outside. And they must be talking about hip drop tackle with James. I bet you. Looks like they're replaying that to show this was a hip drop tackle. Stupidest rule change ever. Yeah, just look at 76. I mean, watch him. He's been great. They call him Joe Alt. They call him Control Alt Delete. Oh, Brian says I don't have the game on. Well, yeah, they call him Control. They call him Control Alt Delete because he deletes people. He's fantastic. Nightshade says, "How do you get monetized?" Well, you got to hit certain metrics, Nightshade, and then you have to apply to be in the partnership program, and they approve you. So you got to have a certain number of subscribers, certain amount of watch time, and so forth, and then you can apply to get in, and then they say yes or no. Big formation here, man. That does not go anywhere. Well, a couple of yards for JK, but now they're doing, as I said, just run this clock out. Let your offensive linemen be weapons, blunt force trauma. Let's go, boys. Let's eat. That's what you need. Let the offensive linemen eat. The offensive linemen love runs, not so much with the pass because on the runs they can be aggressive. On the pass plays they have to be defensive. They got to play going backwards. They don't like it. But yeah, this offensive line is solid, man. Especially Control Alt Delete. Something went wrong on this play, but Herbert able to scramble and probably pick up that first down. Very, very close. I would say that this Chargers team is probably just rounding into form now. They got the quarterback, they got the offensive line, they have some decent running backs, they have some okay wide receivers, including McConkey. Looks like he's their primary now. And Johnston's being useful, whereas in previous years he was completely not useful. They still need a wide receiver or two. They need a tight end probably. But this is a team that could put up a fight in the playoffs for sure, as presently constituted. And of course, this is the first year under Harbaugh. And here's another touchdown by J.K. Dobbins. Just kidding. Dobbins gets in there. So this is another blowout on Mayo's record. So Duncan Lloyd wants to know, will the head coach Mayo get another year? Well, the reporting out of New England is that the owner Kraft is very much wants to give Mayo the time and resources that he needs to succeed. So that's the reporting as of now, that Mayo is pretty safe, but some of his coaching staff may get the axe. But here's another blowout. It's 37-7. Whereas last week they played the Bills tough, so they only lost by 3 points. Last week against the Bills. So you know, somebody, like the ownership can say, well, hey, we played them tough. There's a good team, blah blah blah. But now the Chargers are coming in to Foxborough and blowing them out by 30. So is that going to change the calculation any? Probably not. It's looking like Mayo's going to be safe for at least for another year. They think Mayo's a long-term answer, and the reporting is that they understood it would be a process and that they had to give him resources and time to succeed. So that's the reporting as of today. So we'll see if anything changes over time. This is another blowout loss at home, which the ownership not going to be too happy about, where they don't look particularly good. The defense looks completely lost. They had we had reporting over the last few weeks that Keon White is saying we don't have an identity. What's going on? We're all upset. They're all up angry. So who knows? They have a lot of the same players as they did with Belichick, and now the defense is totally terrible. So one of the worst in the league, and this game is not going to make it any better as far as the metrics are concerned. So there's a lot to say, but I mean, so maybe Demarcus Covington gets fired, something like that. I don't know. But if I were them, I would not fire Alex Van Pelt. That's for sure. Drake May looks competent. He looks good. He needs an offensive line. He has no receivers, no offensive line, and he looks good. So that's really something for the kid. I mean, he looks decent. So, you know, Brian Goldstein says the Chargers are an example of what a good coach can do for a team. Yeah, and having a good veteran quarterback on board also helps. Say what you want about Dan Campbell, but he was smart enough to get uh, Jared Goff on the team. Someone you can win with. You don't have to try and rebuild around some crazy rookie like Caleb Williams or Zach Wilson or one of these dudes, which are just hit or miss. So that helped. But yeah, then he built it the right way. He went and didn't take a receiver. He took Joe Alt, which was the right move, and away they went, and lots of other draft picks and so forth and so on. At least they have a coaching staff. Must be nice. Yeah, yeah, exactly, Gerbo. We got to hope that they stick with Mayo. Hopefully the Raiders stick with Pierce. Everybody just stick with what you got. We want to be one of the few openings out there. I don't think Darren Rizzi's going to stick in New Orleans. Unfortunately, they looked terrible. Although he could, in his behalf, he could say, "Hey, wait a minute, Spencer Rattler was the one who looked terrible. It's not my fault that we drafted this kid. It looked awful." So but I don't think he's going to stick. So that job's going to be open down there probably. You got the Bears job. Now the Bears job you think probably is going to go to Ben Johnson or Cliff Kingsbury. Probably they have their druthers, or failing that, maybe Vrabel. But we just got to hope for as few openings as possible. Let's hope the Jaguars hold on to Doug Peterson some reason, but they probably won't. But all right, Drake May now in the fourth quarter, 11:52 left, drops back and throws a check down to Austin Hooper, the tight end. See if he can drum up any kind of offense here. See what we can find out about Mr. May. They stay in 11 personnel. Oh, that did not work. Yeah, this was a weird play, and there's a flag down. He has had a couple of strange exchanges in this game. This is going to be a legal man downfield. because it was supposed to be a running play, and then they missed the exchange and turned it into a pass play. That's not good, Drake. That's the second time there was a problem with the exchange. So something weird going on here. Put it, chalk it up to a rookie mistake, I guess. Supposed to be. That's a weird one. Supposed to be one of these belly runs out of the shotgun, and oof, missed the exchange. Now they're just May is down, holding his back. They're putting a lot of pressure on him. This is one of the things you worry about with these young guys with terrible offensive lines. You know, and that time he just fell over his own dude. He's getting a battering. He's getting a battering, that's for sure. Duncan says, let's hope not. Ohio Jets fan says, now he throws it high, no good. We could use one of them for a coach. Yeah, it's the owner meddling. That's the problem. Yeah, this certainly is. Let's hope he learned from that, though. One thing I'm hoping that this Atlantic article was so, I'm hoping it was so embarrassing to him and his family that he learns and gets better. He pulls James Dolan, where he actually learns and becomes a less meddling owner. That's our only hope, really. I'm hoping that Atlantic article was so embarrassing to him that he goes, you know what, this is a little out of hand here. Even Woody's got to be able to say something like that. You got to hope because we don't want him meddling, and maybe he thinks, look, this was a unique situation. We got to hope that Woody thinks this was a unique situation where he meddled this time, because we had Aaron Rodgers, we only had a short window, and he was getting nervous because Sala and Douglas weren't getting it done, and so he freaked out and did some more stupid stuff, which he shouldn't have done. But maybe he thinks, okay, I did that because it was Rogers' short window. We only had this small amount of time and things weren't happening, and he got nervous and crazy. But maybe with a new staff, he tells them, look, that was a one-time thing. When we have a different kind of quarterback situation, I'm not going to do that because this was just a unique thing. That's what we got to hope. I'm not saying I know that's going to happen, but we got to hope that happens, because otherwise Woody's just going to keep ruining things, and then it's like, why even be a Jet fan until Woody sells the damn team, right? Because yeah, Gerbo, but he's not going to GTFO, but just keep signing the checks. Like, basically just do how he was doing before we got Rogers. Rogers screwed everything up. Getting Rogers, that is. I think once we got Rodgers, the money men got in Johnson's ear, and they were like, "This is the cash cow. This is the thing we need. This guy is the cash cow. We're going to get all the primetime games. We're going to sell all the jerseys. We're going to do. Everybody's going to get all excited, as opposed to like a Derek Carr that's not going to excite anybody. Rodgers is the play." And then once that happened, the money men started controlling everything. They told Joe Douglas who to go get. Get every Green Bay Packer you can get your hands on, Joe. I don't think Joe Douglas really wanted Billy Turner and Randall Cobb and all these people. But I think the money men told him, we got to make Rogers happy. We got to make Rogers happy. Get all of his friends, get everybody. And then all of those decisions cost us money and cap room and this and that, and led. And then we didn't get the results. And then Rogers got hurt, of course, being the main thing. And then that ruined that season because we didn't get a backup quarterback stupidly. So I think the Rogers situation and all of the decisions that were made subsequent to getting Rogers really led us to where we are today, because the money men were thinking this guy's a cash cow, when in reality we could have had Derek Carr and not given up any draft picks. Now Derek Carr is a worse quarterback, of course, and he's not exactly a cash cow, but you might have had an average quarterback and all the other draft picks that you could have used to build up the team, and then you didn't, and then you wouldn't have had all this drama. And now Taylor Heineke's in the game. Who knew Taylor Heineke was still in the league? So Herbie's out. They're going to just run out the clock for sure now. Taylor Heineke in there. When you know Heineke comes in, you know you're getting blown out. Yeah, right, Gerbo. That's right. And then the PSLs went up. Yeah, Ohio, and that's probably because they made those decisions, previously, budgeting it out. They thought it was going to go a certain way. and I think it's terrible. But that was the whole idea. They could raise the price of the PSLs. They're going to sell more jerseys. They're going to get primetime games. Aaron Rodgers is the cash cow that they thought they had, and so that was the problem. They thought they had a cash cow, and they did everything. All the decisions they made were not football decisions; they were cash cow decisions, so to speak. Taylor Heineke goes for a little run. Why not? Actually, Taylor Heineke as a backup, why not? I like Taylor Heineke as a backup. A lot of starting experience. You can use his legs. He's tough as nails. I like the idea of Taylor Heineke as a backup for any team, that is. Goldstein says the curse tracks back to Namath. Yeah, I'm aware. I'm aware, Goldstein. I'm starting to believe in it, too. I'll tell you that much. Garbage in, garbage out. Yeah, it's about the process, right? When you start listening to the money men on football matters, it's usually not going to work out right. The money men should stick to the money stuff. That's what they should. That's what they do. But instead, they got involved with the football stuff because they thought the football stuff, in a very direct way, was going to affect the money because Rodgers is a special cash cow quarterback type, and all the records he was going to set and all that. This 500 touchdown and all these things. So yeah, that's where we are, and that's what happened. And hopefully, we're able to get some people into the front office who can straighten things out. But remains to be seen. But yeah, I mean, you could look at the Chargers and say, look, you get the right people, look what happens. You turn it around very quickly. I say having a Herbert as your quarterback helps out a lot with that, but because now we're in quarterback purgatory again. So what are we going to do at quarterback? It's going to be the eternal question, and nobody knows the answer. Not right now, so forth and so on. Yeah, Jerbo, it's rough. It's going to be a rough period. We're going to see what they decide for next year. If they get rid of Rodgers, then there goes Adams, there goes Lazard, and you have no wide receiver room and no real quarterback solution, unless you consider Tyrod a quarterback solution. So, you know, it's going to be rough unless Jordan Travis develops or just some other unexpected thing happens. We could try for Justin Fields or something like that and just hope and pray that maybe he could develop into something. So we'll just have to see. Rodgers in 2018 had 597 pass attempts, two interceptions. That's a lot. 597 pass attempts. Jeez. All right, 7:08 left in the fourth quarter in this riveting ball game. The Chargers are ahead of the Patriots 37-7 as they continue to milk the clock by running the ball. It will now be third and about 6 yards. Haskins, I think that's the former Michigan running back Haskins. Forget his first name. Hassan. Hassan Haskins. 6:43, 6:42, 6:41. Tick, tick, tick. Clock is ticking down as it looks like the Chargers are going to. Does this Charger win knock out the Dolphins? People who can check the internet, does this Charger win knock out the Dolphins? Did he catch it? Did he catch it? Nice throw by Heineke. Does this Charger win knock out the Dolphins from playoff contention or no? Do they still have a shot? That's what I'd like to know. Let's see if he catches this. No. Nope. He missed it. All right, so Drake May, if they decide to keep him in, I would personally probably at this point put in Brissett. I mean, you really want this kid to take more of a beating. I would put in Brissett. So their punter is named J.K. Scott. They have two people named J.K. How many J.K.s can you have on a team? You got to wonder. Delay a game. Does this win knock out the Dolphins? That's what we got to know. Well, let's check the old internet. Maybe there's breaking news on who's in, who's out, who's doing what, because this game is in hand. I wonder what if anybody's going to tweet out the playoff implications. With the win today, with the Chargers win today, the Bengals, Colts, and Dolphins would all be eliminated if the Broncos were to win today in Cincinnati. With a win over the Bengals, Denver would clinch the final spot. Okay, so it comes down to the Denver game. So those guys are not in. Stegosaurus says the Chargers would have to lose both their remaining games against the Patriots. Well, they're going to win this game, Stegosaurus. And the Colts need to lose at least one of their other ones. So this is from Schefter. He says, with the Chargers win today, the Bengals, Colts, and Dolphins would all be eliminated if the Broncos were to win against Cincinnati, which is the next game coming up right here. Not that we're going to cover it. We got 3 hours is enough. May still in the game. Incomplete pass to number 6. That might be Baker. Yeah. Hey, they threw to Baker. They let him in the game finally. Um, Chargers have clinched on it. So the Chargers are in. Broncos can get in with a win. So I guess that's the simplest way to say it. And then everybody else is out. So the Broncos just got to beat the Bengals. But I wouldn't, that's going to be a good matchup. I absolutely cannot root for Denver. Want them to lose. Well, it's going to be an interesting game because the offensive side of the ball for Cincinnati has been fantastic. I mean, Burrow's been incredible, but their defense has been terrible, and nobody knows why. Lou Amarulo's tearing his hair out over there. Um, so the question is going to be: can the Nixian offense of the Broncos continue to gouge the Cincinnati leaky defense? Here comes the pass rush against May. Throws it toward the outside, incomplete to Polk, who's had trouble catching the ball this year, which is bad for a wide receiver in the NFL. 4th down and 5 should be Puntadero time for the Patriots, I would think. Polk on that one. Yeah, could have had it. So not a terrible throw by May by any means. Tough catch, but could have had it. Could have had it. 4th and 6, and the camera keeps showing Gerard Mayo. No, they're not punting. They're going for it. All right, number 6, Javon Baker's on the field. Let's keep our eye on him. He's our UCF favorite. See if he can do something. All right, so 4th down. They're not going to heavy blitz, it doesn't look like. 4-man rush. Khalil Mack on the outside. Throw underneath to the tight end. That's not going to be good enough for a 1st down, so that's going to end this drive. So, turnover on downs, as they say. And this should pretty much do it as they wind down the clock. Who is your favorite for the head coaching position? Brian asks. My favorite is Vrabel, of course. I want the most experienced guy who can be a culture changer, and to me, that's Vrabel. And a smart guy who's going to take some innovative approaches. Let's do a lot of things different as the New England fans leave the stadium after another 30-point blowout, and they'll be calling for Mayo's heads on the talk radio programs this week. You can be sure of that. But now the Chargers have the ball already in field goal range, so they could easily get to 40. But they should just keep handing the ball off and wind down this clock. Yeah, so I would say Vrabel's number one. He's going to be number one for most of the clubs. So if the Bengals, I think I'm going to root for the Bengals in that game for sure. Then they'd be 8-8, and the Broncos would be 9-7. I kind of sneakily want the Bengals to get into the playoffs. They did so bad in the beginning of the season, but like the Bengals in the playoffs would be fun because Burrow can just beat anybody. I mean, he could win a shootout against anyone, including, you know what I mean? Including all the big boys. and including the Chiefs, who you'd like to see knocked off, as of course. There's throwing the ball still. This is dumb. Run the ball, Roman. The hell is Greg Roman doing running boot plays with Heineke? Just run the ball. Sometimes you just got to keep things simple. These guys they get all in their bag and they get excited. Let's do a boot rag with Tyler Heineke. Just hand the ball off. Wind the clock down, dummies. Let's not make it complicated. Not make it more complicated than it needs to be. Now they're going to throw again, 3rd and 8, with the backup quarterback in. Looks like. Why? Oh yeah, no, they're going to run it. See, if you did that on the second play, you would have got a first down. But instead, you tried to be a hero with a bootleg. Rooting for the Broncos loss, yeah. I hate the Bengals too. Well, I don't know. I don't. Why would you hate the Bengals? I really don't even. I've evolved to the point where I don't even hate our rivals to that much. Really. I mean, I hate losing to them, but once we're eliminated, do I really hate the Bills and the Dolphins and the Patriots? Not really. Not really. At this point, I'm just, I'm just a football fan. I'm just a fan of the game of football. I guess I would want the Dolphins and the Bills and the Patriots to lose if they make the playoffs. Like I would prefer the Dolphins not make the playoffs because it just makes for more consternation on their part. Are they going to continue on with Tua? Are they going to continue on with Tyreek Hill? Are they going to continue on with Mike McDaniel if they get bounced if they don't make the playoffs? The Bills, of course, I want them to lose in the playoffs. But if the Bills were to beat the Chiefs, I think I'd be happy about that. I mean, somebody's got to knock off these Chiefs, So I think if the Bills beat the Chiefs, you know, I think I'd be happy about that. But then if I don't know, if the Ravens played the Bills, then I'd be rooting for the Ravens, of course, because I got nothing against the Ravens, and the Bills are a division rival. So, but I think pretty much every football fan who's not a Kansas City fan should be rooting for the Chiefs to lose. I mean, we want diversity of teams, succeeding. We don't want the same team being the Super Bowl champs every year. So, yeah, I don't know. At this point in time, I'm just a football fan. I don't have time for hating teams or the only guys I hate are like dirty players, like Mac Jones, for example. If you're going to be a dirty player and kick guys in the nuts, well, I'm not going to like you. And if something happens to you bad, I'm not going to wish it on you, but I'm not going to be too upset either if it does happen. So, you know what I mean? So at this point, if you're a scumbag or something like that, all right, I don't like you. But otherwise, I'm just a football fan, rooting for some good football games. There's so much football. Okay, they did take Drake May out finally. That makes sense. You don't want him to get killed out there. So this game, they're just going to hand the ball off. Gerbo says, I hate the Chiefs, the Dolphins, and the Pats above all else. Well, I mean, what have the Dolphins and what have those teams done to you? Now, the Chiefs is because they keep winning, and we want to see a different team. And also, if you're not a fan of Taylor Swift, then that's going to be annoying that they have, they keep showing Taylor Swift up in the booth and all that. But I mean, the reality is, all the Dolphins and Patriots and Bills, for that matter, have done is beat us, which is what they're supposed to try to do. And it's our job to beat them, and we haven't been able to do it enough because we stink. So how am I going to hate on them for doing their job? I mean, if you look at the games from just a pure fan perspective, if you watch Josh Allen play, for example, just from a pure football perspective without him being on the Bills, like that dude is fun to watch. And the same thing with Lamar. You know what I mean? So if I'm watching a Bills game and I don't have too much of a rooting interest, I'm just like, all right, let's see what crazy shit Josh Allen's going to do in this freaking game, you know? Because he does crazy stuff all the time. That's all he ever does. He's trucking dudes, jumping over dudes, throwing 80 yards downfield, all kind of stuff. All right, 2-minute warning coming up in this ball game. Gerbo says they are our rivals and we suck. Yeah. So it'd be better if we didn't suck and then we beat whoever. Our rivals and our non-rivals, and we just beat everybody because we're good. We want to root for us to be good, not for our enemies to be worse. like we need to root for ourselves to be so good that we can beat anybody, not that we get easier competition. You know what I'm saying? Jojo says Iowa State quarterback looks good. Okay, who? Iowa State quarterback? I don't know who that is. Jojo says watching Iowa State Miami game. How's Cam looking? How's Cam looking? Easton and Eli Gaming says W Colts. Yeah, well, you got to be rooting for the Bengals for the Colts to have a shot because if the Broncos win, then it's all over in the AFC. As far as the playoffs are concerned, Broncos win, they're in, and everybody else is out. But if they lose, then everything opens up a little bit, and some teams have some shots. Who you got the next game, Bengals or Broncos? I got Bengals. I'm going to be rooting for the Bengals. I'd like for the Bengals actually to sneak into the playoffs. I think that would be a good story. And also for Joe Burrow to be a threat to anyone that they might play. Whereas the Broncos, for example, would just be happy to be there for the most part, stuff like that. Whereas the Bengals, they got unfinished business. I mean, people forget that Joe Burrow is uh, already went to one Super Bowl, lost it, but he went to one, knocked off the Chiefs that one year, and so he's got that experience. He's a guy who could do it. Knock off the champs again. That'd be nice. It'd be nice if somebody knocked them off. I don't care who. Somebody needs to knock them off their perch. We watched the Gruden show this year. Yes. Oh, he sure does, Brian. He's a genius. He's an offensive genius. I mean, he's a very high elite football mind. I wouldn't mind the Jets having him in for an interview. I mean, very few people understand football at the level of a John Gruden. I mean, the man has every playbook he ever created, ever. Decades and decades worth of playbooks. He has all of them still archived. Let me go to this play I drew up in 1999 against the Indianapolis Colts. You know, I mean, there's very few football minds like John Gruden, but he's also doing a bunch of goofy stuff with Barstool. Makes me think, well, he's just going to do goofy stuff then. Because I don't think you really do Barstool stuff if you're trying to get back into the NFL. You know what I mean? All right, Todd, take care of the farm, buddy. Take care of them big pigs and chickens and cows and whatever you got over there, Todd. Somebody got to take care of the farm work around here. I'm not going to do farm work, I'll tell you that much. That's why I'm glad there are farmers out there who do the farm work because I'm not going to be able to do it. I'm not going to milk a cow. I don't know how to milk any cows, I'll tell you that much. I'll tell you that much. I got Cardinals over Rams last game. Cardinals over the Rams. Well, that'll be an interesting game. It's all comes down for the Cardinals. It comes down to Kyler. What kind of game you're going to get out of Kyler? Sometimes he plays great. Sometimes he plays not so great. Let's see if we can get a pass to Javon Baker. How about that? Nope. Running play. Oh, there goes Antonio Gibson running, trying to get some yards. 39 seconds. No worries. Brick Johnson will be our owner in 5 years. Yeah. An entitled, privileged Nepo baby. That'll be great. That'll be great. For the love of God. Save us all. Save us all. I'll let the coyotes get your chickens. Yeah, you can't let the coyotes get your chickens. And you certainly don't want your chickens to get eaten by the coyotes. That's for sure. That's good life advice. That's good life advice. So the Patriots are going to lose by 33 points in this ball game right here. This is not going to be a fun time for New England sports radio this week, I tell you that much. What they're going to be saying is this team has no fight, this team has no character, they're not competitive, they got no competitive spirit, they got no life, they got no energy, they got no they got nothing. What is going on with this coaching staff? They get embarrassed at home, they got no pride in their home stadium. There's going to be all kinds of calls like that on New England talk radio and so forth and so on. So it's not going to be fun for those fans and people looking at that team. So basically, one spot open. Four teams who can get it: Broncos, Colts, Dolphins, Bengals. If the Broncos win this next game, well, they're in and everybody else is out, which would mean one team from the AFC East made it, which, if you said that at the beginning of the year, people would have thought you were crazy. Everybody thought it was going to be a down year for the Bills. No siree, Bob. Not when you got Josh Allen playing like he's playing. No siree, Bob. All right. So that'll do it, everybody. Thank you for joining me for one last time. Click the like button, click the bell, click the subscribe button if you're new. Watch some other videos on the channel. Get up the watch time so we can get monetized around here and start out and come up with the inner circle. Don't forget, I might do the inner circle where we create the Ethics in Journalism Institute and we grade out the ethicalness of journalism these days. How about that? How about that? But I can't do that unless the channel gets monetized. So watch some videos, click the subscribe, click the like, click whatever you can click, and I'll see you guys next time. Thanks for being here.